hand squawk 3403.
KR2111, read back is correct. Let's do runway 15 right, November for departure advisory for taxi.
We'll expect 15 right, November, hold by 01211.
Hello again everybody, and very good morning, good afternoon, good evening wherever you are in the world. Make sure you, if you're brand new to the channel, very warm welcome to you. Please do hit subscribe down below if you enjoy it today, and don't forget to give the live stream a little thumbs up as well, a little like. I've had 3 hours sleep, so this is almost like a, I was saying a Discord, very much like a university study for pilot fatigue. So you might have to bear with me. But we're here at Boston, we're on the VATSIM network. We've got the Boston Freeware Tower, which you can add on to the default scenery, which is quite cool. David, hello to you.
Delta 258.
Hope you're okay. Gridman, Jay, Brandon, Aviation Simulation, Anthony S, hello to you guys. And there's a, almost like we timed it perfectly, there's an AIG Delta A350 just about to line up runway 15 right for departure.
3000 vectors for the ILS runway 22 left.
We spawned in about 15 minutes ago, and we got a PDC
Can you say it again?
from Boston Centre. We've now got Boston Approach online as well, but it's information Lima at the moment, and our clearance from Boston to Pittsburgh for leg 1 of 2 for Endeavour 5258. We've got altitude of flight level 240, and we've got the REVSS for departure using runway 15 right for takeoff. Tom Appleton and David A, good morning guys, hope you're okay. Lovely cold morning, Kushal indeed, hello to you. What else have we got? Additional information, departure frequency 1347, that's Boston Centre, but now it'll be Boston Approach 1330, and according to the ATIS, winds are 240 at 4 knots.
Wings 5 Bravo, contact Boston Center 134.7 so on.
And we've been cleared to depart with the SID effectively. So, Becky, hello. LJC, Land O'Lakes, good morning. Let's watch this depart because it's pretty cool. It is going exceptionally slow though. Doctor on board, hello. Generating the route for today, so thank you. God, so you're going to take off? Wow. That was a sluggish departure. There's the end of the runway.
Approach, good morning. Catch at 16 Delta, stand Charlie 32, ready to check.
Cat Air 16 Delta.
Anyway, let's spin this camera around. Around we go. There's David over there in the corner. His strobe's on because the that's the AIG models at the moment. Showing us an A321, which is quite cool. And there we are on Alpha. Alpha 17 for our stand. Oh, Ashley, fantastic. Where is it? It's like Silverstone or? Here we go. CRJ900 Delta Connect livery, Endeavour Air, which is what our call sign is for today. And Volanta's doing its thing, doing the little micro stutters again. What we can do is we can set up our camera for departure. It's about 8.3, isn't it, as usual for that. And we could jump in the flight deck and I can show you guys a bit of a routing for today. At the very least for this first leg. So we're over here, this little apron satellite.
Heavy, clear direct lobster.
We're going to do Kilo, Bravo, all the way around to runway 15 right. We'll probably get Zulu for departure because we could take Zulu because it's a 3,000 metre long runway, which is quite cool. And then we've got the, let's just pin that. We've got the REVSS 4 on of departure, which is a absolute mess. But in short, we've got runway 15, which is that one there. Hopefully you guys can see that with all the lights. Flight runway heading, then we break off slightly, 131 degrees to Fox. And then we head up to Barrow, so Foxborough, for those of you who are Pats fans like myself, max speed of 250 knots. Then Jates, Humo, max 290, Kenway, and then up we go to REVSS, which is quite good. And then away we go. There's a couple of details here. Do not exceed 210 until 520. Then on depicted route to REVS, top altitude of 5,000. It says. Which is interesting. So perhaps I need to change my setting that I've got here. Down. Oh, that's the course needle. I was like, why is it not moving? There's the first. Wow. I need more coffee. There we go, 5,000. Lovely stuff. And we got our runway heading programmed in as well. From there, once we hit REVS, we might even get a direct 2, to be honest. We're going to continue westbound. There's REVS just there. We're going to continue west along the Juliet 68 airway all the way to ARC. We're then going to go direct Rebel,
Care 2111,
direct Slate Run VOR,
128.8,
and then we're going to make our descent into Pittsburgh. And we've got Haynes 7 arrival from Slate Run
Cat Air
up here.
16 Delta, somebody was on frequency, so
Down to Ered 10,000, Grace expect 10,000, Haynes, Myron, and then it's going to be Vectors to final approach. So yeah, really cool. Once we've done this, we're then going to continue with the turnaround, and we're then going to continue back, but we're going to go into LaGuardia instead. We've got the Feel Their Sim LaGuardia scenery on Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's actually a couple of quid cheaper buying it on Sim Market, just in case people want to purchase that. We've got a V1 of 146. Where have we got? Here we go. 146.
Delta 258 heavy contact, Boston Center 134.7
And there's our performance charts for the day. Takeoff trim is already set to 7.0. Minimum, yeah, pretty much. Right, altimeters 3036. We've got our clearance for our PDC. So, let's check we've got everything up here on. We do. Let's turn the fuel pumps on, boost pumps. APU is available. We've got all the hydraulic lines on. We can do those after push and start. Nav logo there on, seatbelt signs, everything's on auto, emergency lights are armed, DLT's armed. Okay, I think we're pretty much ready to go. We shouldn't need... Oh, Drilly, fantastic. You're going to really enjoy it. Kevin, good morning to you. Going to try and join this morning, just might be a little bit behind. No problem. You can always join us from Pittsburgh. We're going to be an hour to there.
Crossway 3000 and clear ILS to left.
For the link to LaGuardia. Anthony, yeah, ARG's working alright, to be fair. Neil M in Ops, hello to you. Good morning, hope you're okay. We've got the Luke Air tool.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On
with
behalf
some
of Delta
announcements.
Sky Team and our global partners, welcome on board your Delta flight. As you're making your way to your seat, we kindly ask that you please step into your row and out of the aisle as quickly as possible to allow those passengers behind you to make their way to their seat as well.
That's all on as required. Your damper 1 and 2 we've done.
If you're traveling with a larger rollerboard, please place it in the overhead bins, either wheels or handles first on either side of the aircraft.
That's cleared.
Keeping in mind that the overhead
Everything
bin
else
space
is ready
shared
to go.
space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead and
Anthony,
utilize
it did,
the next
yes.
available space.
Thanks for asking. Yeah, it was really good actually, really
If you brought
enjoyable.
a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, you can go ahead and utilize that space under this seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check.
Delta 490, contact Boston Tower 128.8.
Oh wow.
Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items in the airplane mode or turn off your
third ILS runway 15
approach. If you'll be working on a laptop computer or enjoying
3
any other larger
frequencies. This is a
electronic
VATSIM
devices,
event, by the way.
they
Boston
must be
are
stowed
doing
either in a bag under the seat in front of you or in the overhead
60
bin.
hours, I think it is, of continuous
Please do not stow
ATC
these
coverage,
items
which
in
is
this pocket in front
insanely
of you.
cool.
Place them
And
directly
they
on the
are.
floor
This is the
or hold
last
them
sort
on
of
your
12
lap
hours, I
during
believe.
taxi, takeoff, and landing. This is not just
So
a
if you want to
Delta
fly
policy,
somewhere with
but
ATC
a regular
in America,
for your safety.
there you go. Boston.
Delta 490 Boston Tower, hello, pushback at the Delta ramp. It's going to be your discretion. Advise at spot 7, ready for taxi.
Roger, spot 7, ready for taxi.
Brilliant. Better get that chart out, because I don't know what it is.
Good morning, 048, ILS to left.
To taxi, no, that's Pittsburgh charts, whoopsie.
Algeria 48, ILS to left.
spot.
sorry, RJ48 Boston Tower. Hello, wind 1805, runway 2 to left, clear to land. There's going to be one aircraft departing on the parallel runway. Sorry, departing on the intersecting runway.
Clear to land to the left, RJ5, and inspect traffic.
Okay, 211, fly runway heading, wind 1805, runway 15 right left.
Really good, thanks information Alpha. I'm literally just about to get pushback clearance.
On a 5-mile final for the crossing runway.
Clear for takeoff 15.
Interestingly, this isn't working here.
2111.
See if we can refresh it. Boston Tower, good morning. Endeavour 5258 on stand Alpha 17 with clearance via PDC. Information Lima and request push start.
258 Boston Tower, hello. Yeah, the Delta ramp pushback is going to be your discretion. Advise spot 7 ready for taxi.
Pushback at discretion and advise spot 7 ready for taxi. Endeavour 5258.
Boston Towers, there's 220 on Alpha for taxi.
I don't think this is working.
Aerosoft 220, runway 15 right, taxi via Alpha and Lima.
Alpha Lima 15 right, there's 220.
Okay, 211, correction, clear,
Wow.
2111 Boston Tower, just confirm you maintaining VFR below 2000?
Oh,
Maintaining VFR at
oh, would be really good.
2111.
Okay, 2111, Roger.
Doors and
radar
chocks.
Contact, proceed on course, meeting VFR altitude, your discretion.
Oh wow. What did I tell you
Proceed
guys?
on course, VFR my discretion. Care 2111.
Now have I oh dear. Let's try and refresh pushback, toolbar pushback. I'm pushing the sim today. Come on, gotta give us something.
In Boston Tower, this is Care 2111. Should I contact Boston Approach for flight following?
If you want to, once you get outside of my airspace, then yeah.
Understood, Care 2111.
Right, you know what?
Boston Tower, Delta 490, you can let the company traffic on the other stand go ahead. We're together and I'm following him.
Roger.
Delta 490, boss. Sorry, Delta 490, I'm sorry, I was coordinating second.
The company Delta on stand.
I'm going to have to start up on
16
stand.
or 17, you can let them go ahead.
Never 5258 Boston Tower.
Yeah, that's received Endeavour 5258. Spot 7's about here.
220, runway 15 right, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, 15 right, is those 220.
Let's go. Could have been, who knows? Close and reopen pushback. That's right. We'll do the old. I don't know if you guys remember videos on YouTube of Detroit. Is it Dallas Fort Worth or Detroit?
Right at the end on,
You would get
and then taxi.
get the
Mike
MD-80s, whatever they are, MD-88s, Mad Dogs.
And hold true to taxi kilo.
Push them back with reverse thrust. We're just gonna do that.
Vacating Mach 1, taxi Mike, and hold short kilo after crossing the runway LG.
Aerosoft 220, wind 1805, runway 15 right, clear takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 15 right, those 220.
Okay, 2111 squawk. I'm sorry, were you saying you were looking for flight following?
That's affirmative, Care 2111.
Okay, 2111, Roger, contact Boston.
Let's try one more time.
33.0, have a good day.
Over to 33.0, thank you very much. Care 2111.
No, it doesn't like it. Screw that.
And RJ48, just confirm you're going to be parking at the international ramp? RJ48, Boston Tower.
RJ48, affirmative.
RJ48, Roger. Continue taxi via Mike, Quebec. Hold short of runway 22 right.
Continue taxi via Mike, Quebec, and hold short to right, RJ48.
Oh wow. Interestingly, the reverse thrusters aren't working either. I'm sure they're going to kick in a minute. Oh, David, interesting. It didn't work for you either. Rudin, hello, we're on the VATSIM network. Just going to let these stabilise and then we will get the reverse thrust out. Interestingly though, we actually had it working fine. Oh, you know what? Wow. That would help. Always arm the reverse thrusts. Here we go.
Cross runway 22 right at Quebec, taxi Bravo Alpha 1 Alpha.
That's a bit sporty.
Close to 2 at Quebec and then Bravo Alpha 1 at Alpha G flight.
Right. I might as well do this so I can actually see where I'm going. So I've had 3 hours sleep today and I had about 4 hours sleep broken. So I had 2 hours sleep, I got woke up and then I had another 2 hours sleep the day before. So 48 hours I've had about 7 hours or so of kip. So these passengers better strap in. Good of a nothing, yeah. We will, won't we? I hope so. Right, so parking stand 7 is kind of in line with Alpha, isn't it? So in that instance, let's have a little look, see here. Alpha's there. Oh dear. Right, so I'm going to leave those armed. Might as well. We put that on. Oh, you know what? Should probably arm nose wheel steering too.
Tower, should we contact on approach?
Sorry, Aerosoft 228, I'm calling Boston approach 133.0, have a good day.
13330, service 220, good day.
Tabanaris, yes, so Flyby will be adding their thing to their installer, the A220. Oh, that's really wiggly, isn't it? And hopefully, I was speaking actually to one of the PMDG team yesterday, and they said that it's not quite as ready as people think. PMDG teasing a 757, I hope so. It's one of my aircraft that I really want the most. Endeavour 5258, spot 7 ready for taxi.
5258 Boston Tower, runway 15 right, taxi via Kilo Bravo and Lima.
15 right, Kilo Bravo Lima, Endeavour 5258. That is all good. Pop those on. I'll definitely forget otherwise. And
Any assigned
safety demo.
for LG48?
LG48 negative. So in the US they don't assign stands, they just give you the taxi on to the stand that you're technically assigned by the ramp. On VATSIM that's just going to be your option of stand.
Tabanaris, very much so, yes.
At this time, in just a few moments, we'll be showing you the safety video. Once the video has concluded, we'll be in the aisles to answer any questions you have before we're seated for taxi out. Again, thank you for choosing Delta today. My name is Susan. I'm your purser for today's flight, along with
the Delta
Charles
ramp
in the economy
is under
cabin.
control of the ramp, so it's you can do whatever you want up to spot 7. So I'm assuming you're ready for taxi now?
Affirmative, sir.
At Delta.
Delta 490, Roger. I'm assuming you still have the company flight ahead of you?
Men and women in the business.
That's affirmative, sir.
Work each day.
Delta 490, Roger. Runway 15 right, follow the traffic.
Like my rudder pedals have reset themselves.
Follow the traffic.
Bringing the world closer together, one flight at a time.
Aerosoft simple traffic? No, I haven't actually.
We are a planet of amazing differences.
One of cultures and ideas that span our world and link us each to another, whoever you are.
Wherever you're going,
We are proud to fly you there.
Because the first step towards connection
is departure.
Welcome aboard. And thanks for flying Delta.
Our
We
first
haven't got
priority
any
on
custom
every
views
flight
today.
is the safety
The
of our customers and
CRJ900
crew.
is a bit
So,
buggered.
before we depart,
Please pay attention
window
to
views
this
wise for
important
me.
safety
And
message.
I've run out of time.
Be sure that all carry-on items are securely stowed in an overhead bin and place smaller items, including handbags, under the seat in front of you. If you lose your electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for assistance. Please ensure all aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas are clear.
As we leave the gate, make sure your seatbelt is fastened. To fasten, insert the metal tip into the buckle and adjust the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release the belt, just lift the top of the buckle. If you're seated in the business class cabin, secure your shoulder harness by
Bravo,
attaching
left.
the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, remove the metal tip and allow the shoulder harness to retract. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. And even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience unexpected rough air.
For everyone's safety, federal regulations require all passengers to comply with the posted placards and lighted information signs located throughout the cabin, in addition to any crew member's instructions.
Just giving us
Smoking,
Lima.
including the use of e-cigarettes, is not allowed on any Delta flight, and federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying a restroom smoke
Taxi all the way
detector.
around
There
Boston.
are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a used as a raft. All exits are clearly marked with an exit sign. However, if there's a loss of power and cabin visibility is reduced, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
Please note that exit signs on this airplane identify each exit with a green symbol.
AIG is
Arrows indicate
fantastic,
the direction
yeah.
to the exit. Locate the
Little
exit nearest you
American
using
73
these green
Max over
symbols,
there.
keeping in mind the nearest
And then,
exit might be behind
Southwest
you.
73
In the
as well.
event of an evacuation, leave all carry-on items behind. It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, the panels above your seat will open, revealing
Ben,
oxygen
fantastic.
masks. If this happens, reach up and pull the mask or red streamer towards you until the tube is fully extended. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note that oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the
rudders have
bag doesn't
definitely
inflate.
changed.
Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Service 190 Boston, hello.
But just in case, life vests are located under your seats in the main cabin. If you're seated in the business class or Delta Premium Select cabin, life vests are located either in a compartment adjacent to your seat or under your armrest. To use, remove the
190
vest from its
Boston,
container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. Wrap the strap
Next cross the
around your
pond will
waist
be
and attach it to the
exceptionally
buckle in
cool,
front.
Neil.
And
It'll be
fasten
really
it
good.
to
Philadelphia, via the latest for
Inflate the
departure,
vest by pulling
then
down on the red
filed.
tab at the bottom of the
Climb
vest,
via
or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level.
A water-activated light attached
Oh,
to
yes.
each vest.
You
If
guys can
necessary, we'll
be my
distribute
co-pilots
additional
today
life vests for
when I
children.
forget things.
35 pounds or less.
Now, before we take off, be sure your seat is upright and your tray table is put away. If you're seated
That's
in
a
the
proper
business class
regional
cabin,
airline
ensure your
taxi
seat
speed
doors
that
are
we've been
open.
buzzing along.
Please note there is a placard on the door
Service
visible
190,
when
read back
open,
correct.
explaining how to
Expect
use the
runway
suite door
at
in case of an
15
emergency.
right,
If you're
advise
seated in
ready
the
for
main cabin,
pushback.
ensure your aisle armrests are lowered, and in the Delta Premium Select cabin, ensure your aisle armrests are raised.
As we come through the cabin for our final safety check, please let us know if you have any questions. And finally, now would be a good time for everyone to review the safety information card, which is in your seat pocket.
As we span this amazing world of ours, we celebrate all that connects us.
There goes
Thank
Valanza
you
again.
for choosing Delta to
Might
be a part
change
of your
that
journey.
state save
Now,
period.
as we get ready for takeoff, please sit back, settle in, and have a wonderful flight. Thank you for flying with Delta.
There we go. That's actually quite a
And 5258, wind 1805, runway 15 right, left takeoff.
clear takeoff 15 right, Endeavour 5258. Roland, hello. If you'd have told me that a few seconds ago, I'd have probably requested Lima, sorry, Zulu instead of Lima. What have we got? So we've got altitude set, we've got transponders on, thrust reversers armed, with Squawk 4740, we're going to line up our Lima 15 right, initially runway heading, and let's bring, and there goes my keybind. Click spot gone. Nope, that's the really important one that I didn't want to turn. There we go. Let's just keep rolling. As I'm sure some sort of rapper once said. Stab trim is set, flaps 8. Let's keep the throttle going. There's David flying along with us today. We don't want max thrust, we just want toga. Little crosswind for us.
Delta 490, runway 15 right, line up and wait.
Line up and wait.
I knew there was a discontinuity.
Delta 490.
Nice little derated takeoff. B1, rotate. Got a little wiggle there into the crosswind. Oh, you know what I've forgotten? Done it again, haven't I? Got toga. Oh, I'm too tired for this. Wow. I think I need more than another coffee. What do you guys think? Anyway, we're airborne. We're doing this. Let's go autopilot on.
Too low, terrain.
Shush now. Positive rate gear up.
1158 258, connect departure, have a good day.
Contact departure for Endeavour 5258, thanks to the ATC. Click spots. No, we want 1330.
Want to transition to Bravo? Just let me know. Happy to accommodate.
Got a climb gate.
Appreciate that, 11816. We'll let you know.
Boston approach, good morning, Endeavour 5258, airborne 3300, revs for departure.
Endeavour 5258, Boston departure, good morning, radar contact, climb and maintain 14000.
Climb maintain 14000, Endeavour 5258, good morning. Sid. Max 250 knots. So let's whack it up to 250. Away we go. Retro, who knows? It very well could be. Into the clouds. The Luke Air Tool is very good, folks. It's freeware on flightsim.to. It's also got a PAC-X element to it as well, so you guys can basically make use of that as well, instead of like buying a payware add-on, doing the same thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude, we'd like to extend a special thank you to
Endeavour 5258, turn left heading 320 when able, proceed direct revs.
Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated
left
by the
320
entire
and direct rev when able.
For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff.
Correct. I'm going to wait until we're a little bit more aligned here.
To use approved electronic devices.
We're going back out.
And a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you.
Back out over Boston.
On today's flight in the economy cabin, it'll be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies.
Departure Delta 490, climbing through 2300 to 5000.
Beer, wine, and spirits are available.
There we go, direct refs.
Boston departure, good morning, radar contact, climb and maintain 14000.
As well as available for purchase for the main cabin.
14000.
A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket.
Oh, look at that.
Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You'll find that this screen...
Don't forget to smash the like button while you're here, guys, if you enjoyed today's stream.
Endeavour 5258, contact Boston Center 134.7.
Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a
Contact
flight
Boston
attendant
Center
know they are yours
134 700
complimentary for
Endeavour
this and any future
5258.
Delta
Thanks,
flights.
and have a good day.
You as well.
1347. 1347, that's already
Zero
preset.
taxi Alpha Charlie. Runway 10 via Alpha Charlie 539.
Boston Center, good afternoon, good morning, Endeavour 5258, direct REVS, 13,000 feet.
Endeavour 5258 Boston Center, good evening, climb maintain flight level 2, correction, good morning, climb maintain flight level 240.
I maintain flight level 240, Endeavour 5258, good morning.
Back on the flight deck, German Alpha 560.
German Alpha, German Air Force 560, welcome out.
So they were both disarmed.
Actually, German Air Force.
Just make sure that's back in the climb gate, and we can turn that off. That is everything.
Confirm last call was for German Alpha 560.
Retro, careful now. Ben, no sound mods. I know some people get FT Sim, don't they? But no, nothing like that for myself.
Just hold on, we're still waiting on the handoff.
Roger that, standing by for handoff.
I could probably go back to standard pressure now, but I kind of want to just enjoy some of these views as we transition over Boston Airport. It's down below us at the moment. And I'm hoping there's a break in the cloud at some point, and we can spot it. I mean, either way, the cloud looks fantastic.
Number 7274 Burlington winds 210 at 6.
So those of you who've got the CRJ expansion 1000 and everything else, what do you think? We did the 1000 the other day, which was really cool, really fun.
Delta 490 Boston Center and low, climb maintain flight level 380. Climb maintain flight level 380.
Oh, David, 380, wow.
Good morning. Actually, Delta 490, can you accept top altitude of flight level 240?
Yeah, he's realised now.
To be in the interest of managing speeds and spacing in different.
So Thera, hello, really well, thanks, hope you're okay.
Flight level 240, Delta 490.
Roger,
yes, we've got a direct
Delta
REVS.
490, climb maintain flight level 240.
240, Delta 490.
We're going to be at cruise in no time. If I show you Navigraph really quickly, here we go. You can see here we got after departure we're flying 150 out into the bay towards Fox, and then just as we were getting to about Fox, we got a left turn. We got vectored to the north of the airfield round, and we're getting this direct to REVS now instead, which is really cool actually. Nice to be vectored a little bit as well. We've bust out of that layer of clouds. So let's...
4558.
Wow.
Depot heading
Look at that.
070 vectors for the approach.
That's stunning. I'm going to turn the lights off in a second. Ah, brilliant. There goes Volanta. That state saving thing does get quite tedious. That's all set as required. Good stuff. I mean, that does look stunning. Somebody asked earlier what graphics card I've got. It's an NVIDIA RTX, GeForce RTX 2070 Super. As we jet along leg 1 of 2 down to Pittsburgh. I've downloaded some Pittsburgh scenery from flightsim.to as well for KPIT, but I'm not actually sure what to expect from it. It's one of those really frustrating pieces of scenery that's got it's like 27 different folders that are dependent it's dependent on, which is just really frustrating and a little bit disappointing. So whether or not it's going to be any good, we're not sure. We'll have a look when we get there. But the weather, this is live weather.
Blue 421 clear direct Roebuck.
I think live time as well. It looks brilliant.
Clear direct Roebuck, JetBlue 421.
Oh, hold on.
Boston Logan,
Definitely filed to 24,000, didn't we?
152, climb,
Yeah.
Boston Center, hello again, climb maintain flight level 210.
Oh, come on, click spots.
These are 220 Connect Moncton Center 132.2, good day. 122.2 was ours, 220.
There we go. We've caught that, just fixed it before it was a problem. Happy days. Hopefully the controller didn't notice, even though I would imagine he's potentially watching. David, no vectors for you. Wow, I guess it's yeah, just a bit of separation for us. So Thera, great to hear. David, if you have the 500 and 700, is the 900 and 1000 worth it? I really like it, actually, to be honest. I mean, I love the CRJ anyway, you guys know that. And oh god, these click spots, I can't ever get it right anymore. Where's it gone? There we go.
Blue 421, maintain 300 knots or greater until Roebuck.
I maintain 300 knots or greater.
It depends if you want something that's a little bit heavier than you'd
152,
usually
maintain 280 knots or less
use,
until Roebuck.
to be honest. But I think it's fantastic. Great little bit of kit.
539 radar contacts the altitude.
Now we could blast along at 300 knots.
Currently through 1.3 for 4,000.
So let's do that.
Southwest 539, climb maintain flight level 280.
A little bit more power just to hold that
Flight level 280, Southwest 539.
speed. The 900 1000 is definitely a little bit heavier. The engines feel a lot less powerful as well. So I think Aerosoft has done a really good job with it. And in general, the CRJ is great fun to fly anyway, because it is so hands-on. You can really sort of get stuck in and enjoy it. What's the weather at Pittsburgh? Winds are 150 degrees at 3 knots. So runway 28 left, we're going to have pretty much a crosswind, a very small crosswind. A lot of high cloud for the ceiling. And altimeter's 3019. It's pretty good. I think there's this.
899 Alpha Lima across Lawrence and maintain 6,000 to Boston altimeter.
Ben, you're unable to start your left engine, the CRJ.
Cross Lawrence, and maintain 6,000 altimeter 3035, and we have information.
And if you can, type in the process that you follow in the live chat to see if maybe there's something that's causing the issue, perhaps. And we can maybe help try and diagnose it as a bit of a team while we're live.
421 December the Roebuck 3, correction, JetBlue 421 December the Roebuck 3 arrival, runway 22 left to Boston altimeter 3035.
And descend
I put those 6 screenshots so far into the Atlanta servers.
Lindbergh 45, 58 to maintain 6,000.
Descend maintain 6,000 for Lindbergh.
Yeah, let's do 310 knots. As Lauren V says sometimes whenever she pops in the live chat, if you're not clacking, you're slacking.
Southwest 539 clear direct Pauling.
Clear direct Pauling, Southwest 539.
I think the CRJ does unlock some, even if you're not too fussed about regional routes or real life routes, it does unlock a lot of these smaller, more regional airports that you'd probably not otherwise fly into. And it does make things like flying into KDCA a lot more challenging and actually really quite fun. It's good fun anyway doing something like the river visual, or even if we end up doing the visual approach into LaGuardia, for leg 2, let's see what what's the weather doing in LaGuardia? KLGA, because I wonder if we can try and get winds are 200 at 5. And I think it's a 3-3 approach for that. I think it is. So that's going to be a runway 22 approach with the ILS coming in from the north. But I'm tempted to say, can we do the visual runway 31 approach if the weather stays at 3 knots? Or it's 5 knots though, so it's a bit of a crosswind. But we could ask to do some of that. Because things like the visual approaches across the states, Expressway visual into LaGuardia. What else is there? The river visual into Washington, DCA. Fantastic in the A320 with the manually flown elements, but with the CRJ you've got to do the throttle as well, so it's a whole other dynamic. So yeah, you know what, it does look pretty cool. I mean, hopefully if the weather stays like this, and if we stay on Unicon, we might get LaGuardia's Expressway visual. If we get New York Center stay online, then what I might end up doing is requesting the LaGuardia Expressway instead. Just see what he says, the Long Island Expressway visual. He might give it us, he might not. It's only a 2-3 knot crosswind anyway, so I'd quite happily give it a go. 125, 320 coming up for New York Center. 125, 325. Although he might not control us because we are just dipping in and out of his airspace. 125.325. So that's ready. It's always trying to stay one step ahead of this this jet. Bernie's hanging out for the PMDG 737. They keep teasing out little bits of info and photos. It's got to be soon. Yeah, I think it is a couple of maybe 2 weeks away. It'll be really exciting when it comes. I'm really looking forward to sort of doing a first look and review video on it because I've not flown a 737 in any simulator ever. So
Southwest 190 Boston Center, good morning.
You guys are effectively going to watch me
I'm going to have a reroute for you here in a minute, just advise ready to copy.
Learn it and sort of come to really enjoy it.
Just give me a minute.
Yep, no rush.
We're doing a couple of Jet 2 hops. What have we got? Jet 2, TUI as well. Do Qantas operate the 737NG?
W421 Connect Boston, approach
Possibly.
132.0, good day.
And obviously a lot of the US carriers as well, a lot of South American ones as well. There's actually quite a lot of options for a 737, and of course those of you who love Ryanair.
The Roebuck 3 arrival, runway 22 left, the Boston altimeter 3035.
Although you guys know I'm not really a fan of Ryanair, so you might not find me flying in one of those liveries.
Go ahead for Southwest 190.
Oh, Drinny. Any ideas why my sim crashes as soon as I load in? It sounds like you've got some sort of add-on that might be very broken.
Southwest 190, the route will be direct.
Are you using anything like Unreal Weather or anything like that? Because I've heard Unreal Weather might be a little bit broken at the moment.
Direct Rifle, Romeo, India, Foxtrot, Lima, Echo.
Fly to Bicythera, that's a great shout actually. That'd be a really good choice.
Sierra,
Lots as well.
3 arrival, Juliet, India, India, Mike, Sierra. Can you make that work?
I didn't get the error, so.
Alright, sorry, say that one more time.
Yes, Theron, I've never given one a go.
I didn't get the error between rifle and
of course, Alec, that's a really good point as well actually. Fly UK's Fly 2.
Q439 airway to Briggs, Bravo, Romeo, India.
Trini, do you find it's the same airport each time that it's crashing at, or different stages of the boot points? Alec, hello. Look at that down there. I don't fly around the States often enough, and this is the first time that we're using Delta in any element on the stream as well, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it, especially those of you in the States watching very early in the morning.
34392 brakes.
Hope you're okay, Alec?
Yeah, Jim's 3 arrival, Julia, India, India, Mike 3.
Jim 3 arrival, run.
And Southwest 190, I just sent you that over text just so you have it. But that reback is correct.
Jason, no, I've just everything on my sim is default graphics. There's nothing sort of switched off for like overexposed clouds or anything. I do find sometimes they are a little bit washed out. Journey, I would definitely recommend going through all of your add-ons, perhaps even if you've got anything via the Microsoft Flight Simulator's marketplace, and I would review them all to see if anything is no longer compatible, or in fact if you've got some, I mean, I'll check things like the content manager. Sim Update 7, I do know that had a couple of updates to some of the aircraft inside the sim, and a couple of the scenery packs as well, from the different world updates. I keep forgetting to delete rolling cache, actually, when I come to update. Ben, the cabin in the Delta CRJs is the best CRJ cabin in the industry.
Center, phone golf 4000.
Here's what we've got here for some views. I don't think we're going to get to see. Oh, look at that. We have got a custom view at least. With drone camera, that'll do.
Number 899 Alpha Lima, connect Boston approach 133.0.
Boston approach 133.0, November 899 Alpha Lima, thanks, yep.
Boston Center, is it possible that we can go direct on Briggs?
Southwest 190.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
I can't give you that, that's well outside of my airspace. I can give you direct rifle, if that helps.
Rifle and
There's a really weird sort of like circular pocket of cloud there with a hole in the middle like a donut.
We'll take that. Give me just a minute.
Yep. And when able, proceed direct rifle and advise.
Joel, how do you know what the next comms frequency is likely to
Sorry
be?
about that, sir. Kind of forgot about you. Descend, maintain 2000. I'll return base C here in a second.
Proceed
No worries, down to 2000, Lindbergh 4558.
Southwest 539, contact New York Center 125.32.
And was that for Endeavour 5258?
Nope, Southwest 539, contact New York Center 125.32.
25.32, Southwest 539.
Just 152, contact Boston approach 133.0.
Oh, Aspen would be great in a CRJ. A bit of a challenge as well.
Thank you very much.
Ben, wow, that's insanely difficult.
Pittsburgh 4558, turn right heading 150, vector to final.
So Dwell, basically I look at the vPilot client, I can see Boston Center, New York Center online, Philadelphia Tower, Boston Tower, Boston approach. So you know, you can see the flow working out on departure, tower to approach to center. And then using something like Volanta, for example, if I show you that, you can kind of see roughly, it's not always accurate, but you can see roughly the different airspaces. So Boston, all of this huge area here, and then you've got what's it called? TZQM? Can't remember what it's called.
Center Delta 490.
You guys know what I mean. And then we got New York Center as well.
Delta 490, roger.
Whether or not this little blip of New York Center is actually being done by them or not, I don't know, but it should do because it falls within. I mean, there's JFK, and there's LaGuardia. So Volanta's really good. It gives you weather en route. It gives you
probably spelled it wrong
some of the mapping routes and things as well.
Lindbergh 4558, turn right heading.
Oh, Neil, KBOS scenery is so important, isn't it? That's why I had to download the tower at least today, just to have something.
Right heading 210, localized at 4558.
Right, so literally that's the only wing view that I like the look of.
And Lindbergh 4558.
Wow.
Just double
that was
check
weird.
the spelling on the Briggs waypoint. Bravo, Romeo, India, Golf, Sierra.
I quite wondered where we went then for a moment. Glitch in the matrix.
Negative. Southwest 190. Check the spelling on Briggs. Bravo, Romeo, India, Golf, Sierra.
Bravo, Romeo, India,
I'd love to know where that random bit of grass was there. It'd have been better if there was just a random cow in the field. sort of like the camera appears and then it's great. It gets interrupted grazing on grass. Microsoft missed an opportunity there. Right, what have we got here? H&K KONJE SLT. Entry point to the Star. Grace Haynes Myron. Vectors to Pete.
We will do that. Norfolk Golf.
GD, you've got to reset to the default mouse settings. Centurio, hello, welcome. Thanks for creating these
2256 cross
flights today. Centurio, by the way, guys, one of our moderators, one of our channel members as well, moderator in Discord.
And you can expect an ILS approach once I find the winds.
I've just found a button that didn't know worked on my joystick. Bind to something. Basically, Centurio's created the route today. It's real-world Delta route.
4558. Do you have the
little regional legs finishing in LaGuardia. Quite a nice little two-leg hop for us today on a Sunday.
Pittsburgh 4558. Roger. Fly present heading and maintain 2000 until established on the localizer. You're 5 miles from Pushback, cleared ILS from a 24 approach.
Maintain present.
When I think about the next route, so what have we got?
Good morning, Citation 8 Papa Yankee. Just crashed.
The second leg is going to be to LaGuardia from Pittsburgh.
Number 8 Papa Yankee, roger, your flight plan's still good, just squawk 4730, runway 15 taxi via
KPIT.
Alpha Golf. Report ready for departure.
Bernie, no worries, see you next time. Thanks for tuning in for a little while.
4730.
Always good to have you with us.
4730, thank you, 8 Papa Yankee.
The 490, roger, thanks.
Boston Center, Sky Travel 41 Papa, good morning, flight
EDB 3122.
And call sign one more time, please.
Sky Travel 431 Papa.
Wow, Sky Travel
431 Papa, Boston Center, good morning.
Jay, pretty much. The CRJ900, we were in that, I think was it 2 days ago we were in that. That was really good. We did Madrid to Almeria and back, Nostrum. That was really enjoyable.
And just verify the airway is Quebec Fower Tree Niner.
Q439 Quebec 439, right?
The route for us going out of Pittsburgh is really easy. It is literally TYROO to PSB and then onto the MIP4 arrival. Whether that's showing ILS 22. But I kind of feel like I want to try and do the Expressway visual.
Yep. Rifle is what you're direct to now. And
runway 31 approach into LaGuardia.
Romeo India Golf Sierra.
I mean, we could do the ILS. The runway 22.
Lindbergh 4590, runway 24, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 24, Lindbergh 4558.
Okay, hello to you. Very warm welcome. First time in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're enjoying it so far. I've got an idea for a long route using the Hawk. Fly the same route the Hawks did to get to the USA, then put on a few shows over the same US cities. How long does it take them to get over there, though?
that's
a lot. I think it would be longer than cross the pond.
Got your check-in.
Oh, Ben, wow, that's a busy couple of days of real flying. Jason's asking if I recommend the Aerosoft CRJ. Absolutely, yeah, that's it is still my favourite aircraft inside Microsoft Flight Simulator by quite a bit.
Boston Center, good morning, helicopter 60 Hotel Tango.
And of course the Fly-by-Wire A320 is utterly brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic, but
Number 60 Hotel Tango.
I love the immersion and the hands-on feel of the CRJ and the sort of playfulness of it. But also the fact that if you don't give it enough data, then it doesn't want to fly properly, basically. You've got to look after it, which makes it quite fun. Why is it suggesting 10 right for departure?
Position 8 Papa Yankee, holding short of 15, ready for departure.
Okay, Pier.
Papa Yankee on departure.
Winds of 150 at 3.
Wind 210 at 6, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading and 15 clear takeoff 8 Papa Yankee, thank you.
Boston Center, very good morning to you. 1525, 1254170.
Delta 1525, Boston Center, good morning. Climb maintain flight level 190.
I'm in same flight level 190.
Oh, Pittsburgh's huge for an airport. Why is there no pay-aware scenery for this? It also explains why there's like 20 or so dependencies for the scenery, the freeware. Now the question is, where do they park? Apparently Delta 82. Where's D?
Number 227 Foxtrot X-ray, I don't control that airspace. You're going to want to contact New York Center.
Okay, north ramp.
Okay, contact.
And it's the furthest pier to the west for parking. Well, that's easy enough. What is it expecting here? ILS runway 28 left.
Number 5258, connect New York Center 125.32.
Contact New York Center 125.325 for Endeavour 5258. Thanks for the ATC.
Be active at Morristown.
Are we?
Potential aircraft at Morristown unable to provide Class D services this time due to traffic load. Switch to Unicom. I'll pick you up when I've got some free time. Sorry.
New York Center, good morning. Endeavour 5258, flight level 240 inbound Hancock.
Endeavour 5258, New York Center, welcome aboard. Delta 427, proceed direct ditch, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Do love US ATC on VATSIM, it always sounds quite cool.
American 8301, turn right heading 340.
And real life flight today's parking at Delta 82, fantastic. That is where we will park. Look at that for a landscape.
And November 01 Tango, runway 31, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 31, November 161 Tango.
Wrong way. If it's only working in safe mode for you, then I think definitely you need to go through all of your add-ons, even the officially downloaded ones, and see if there's any that are broken.
3034, taxi via Alpha, cross runway 31.
Ben's nail on the head there, Ben. Next year's going to be a great year for Microsoft Flight Simulator with the Fenix A320, the PMDG 737, Flight Amper Amsterdam. We're looking at the PMDG 777 or the 747 as well. Synaptic Simulations, Airbus A220. What else? Loads. We've got some fantastic aircraft coming to MSFS.
Delta 1594, which airport, please?
We're at Newark.
Wrong way. Have you moved everything out of your community folder to boot the sim? Try that, and then if you find that it boots okay, you might have to then put folders in, maybe 5 at a time, until you find the one that's the problem. Because it might be updated, or it might be showing, say for example, a bit of freeware that you've got, it might show that there's no update available for it, but it's no longer compatible, so it just breaks the sim.
2 Foxtrot X-ray, what is your request?
Do we know when the Flight Amper Amsterdam's going to come out?
To Newark this morning for cargo.
And 7 Foxtrot X-ray, your clearance on request, stand by.
Thanks.
Oh, I know what it's time for. Bit of dash cam. Stick the GoPro up. There we go. Oh, wrong way. I'm really not sure, to be honest. If there's an update available for it and you've downloaded it in the marketplace,
and X-ray, you're clear to the Newark airport via
what I would probably recommend is
3,000, expect 8,010 minutes after.
Booting in safe mode, then going through the content manager to see if you've got any updates there. And then update anything via the content manager that's within the official folders.
8,000 after that, Squawk 714 on departure with you.
714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you. 714 on departure with you.
And 7 at Foxtrot X-ray, read back is correct. Expect runway 29 for departure.
If you've got any mods that significantly change the simulator as well, like the the Google Maps overlay thing that people are really enjoying at the moment, then I'd probably recommend removing those too.
Maintain flight level 380.
Direct line 380, 83 0.
He's heading a to 707 requesting clearance to Heathrow, please information Charlie.
That's a long call.
2, your clearance on request, standby.
Yeah, I think the PMDG 737 is definitely going to be before Christmas, I'd like to think. Oh, the community folder's empty, wow.
Wrong
way. I'd probably, if you struggle to fix it and it's constantly booting in sim mode and your community folder is also empty, then I would probably recommend reinstalling the sim entirely. So uninstall it and install it fresh. It might just clear the cache. So uninstall it, restart your computer, and then begin the whole install process again, perhaps. It's possibly the safest way to do it. But they did say that they wanted to release it at the end of around November, December time, didn't they? So hopefully that will come about.
American 2665, radar contact. See direct Woodstown, climb and maintain 10,000. Climb and maintain 10,000. November 01 Tango, turn right heading 340. Wind 210 at 5, runway 31, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 31, climb heading 340, November 131 Tango.
Speedbird Conquer 2, readback is correct. Expect runway 31 left for departure. It is information Charlie is current. Contact me holding short. Holding short of Alpha when ready for taxi.
I've got Charlie on board, 31 left for departure, and we'll contact you holding short of Alpha taxi. Speedbird Conquer 2.
Kennedy, Iberia 6252, heavy in Terminal 7, JFK for Pushback, please.
What's the cruise for the flight from Pittsburgh to LaGuardia? I'm going to suggest like 230.
Okay, we'll connect your onshore for Alpha for taxi, Iberia 6252. Foxtrot, taxi.
Delta 1594, radar contact, turn right heading 340, direct Gale, climb and maintain 10,000.
10,000, 340, direct Gale, Delta 1594.
Oh, wrong way, that sounds bizarre. Yeah, I really don't know what to suggest. Do you have it on Steam or the Microsoft Store? Hopefully there's some people that are a lot more techie than I am in the live chat that might be able to offer some ideas to try and help fix your situation.
Taxi Alpha with 29, we'll backtrack, thanks. Fox actually.
Tower November 323 Bravo Charlie at Peterborough at the moment requesting VFR clearance to LaGuardia as 5.
That's a short flight.
Bravo Charlie, clearance on request, standby.
Standing by.
Kennedy is information Delta is now current Kennedy altimeter 3034.
Does Steam have like a cache or anything like that that you have to clean?
Washington Center is closed, frequency change approved. Delta 427, you're clear direct FX.
How long are we with New York for?
427, clear direct FX.
KONJE, so after KONJE we then go to Cleveland, so then we tune out.
November 10 Tango, radar contact.
Oh, Gridman, I downloaded loads of them, yeah. I've got a problem at the moment actually with the AIG installer, where I'm getting it pop up all the time telling me the file length is becoming to get too long. And then what it then does is it crashes the installer, so I can't get in to move it. And I got in earlier on once, and I started to update stuff, and it then crashed during the downloads of a couple of different airlines I was trying to download before I committed to the move of all the folders.
And TBM 0 Bravo Charlie, you're clear to the LaGuardia Airport.
It's a really good altitude to fly at. Right, look at the ground textures down below.
Squawk 7114.
I'll have to do a quick speed check in a second.
Clear to LaGuardia Airport is filed. Main radar is activated, departure with speed maintaining 2000, squawking 7174, November 323 by the chart.
Squawk 7114.
Sorry, 7114, November 320 by the chart.
November 01 Tango, radar contact, turn left heading 270, climb and maintain 15,000.
Left 270, climb 15,000, November 131 Tango.
Delta 1594, climb and maintain flight level 380.
380, 1594.
Southwest 539, descend and maintain flight level 220. Southwest 539, descend and maintain flight level 220.
And the flight level 220, Southwest 539.
All right, is anybody waiting for anything right now?
Stay firm, 320, Charlie requesting position, start at Peterborough.
Blue 103 is what, say again? We're stepped on.
Currently holding short, Delta Alpha for Alpha 31 left, squawking 7110, Delta correct.
JetBlue 103, runway 31 left at Kilo Echo, taxi via right Alpha, Kilo Echo.
Right and Alpha, Kilo Echo, JetBlue 103.
It's sounding really busy for New York. Sometimes it's quite nice just listening.
Charlie, runway 24, taxi via Lima, Quebec, cross runway 19.
And Kevin, absolutely. Yeah, you know what? It is a bit of a pain in the backside, but it is worth it. 50 knot headwind.
Hey, I already gave you taxi clearance. That's your push and start cruise.
Let's whack it up to 320, shall we? Just bring that throttle up a little bit. Not clacking, you're slacking.
New York Center, Delta 490 with you, flight level 240 inbound, Hancock.
David, if you're still watching in the background and flying as well, try and see how quick you can fly. I'm at 320 knots, ground speed of 400.
We're ready to go.
427, contact Boston Center 134.7.
There goes our speed. Let's bring it back a tiny bit.
November 7 Foxtrot.
Just so we can stop the acceleration at least of the aircraft.
Runway heading.
And we'll let the speed stabilise. 81% M1.
Runway 29, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading from 829, clear for takeoff.
New York Center, good morning. Eastern 41 with you. File 41.
Eastern 41, New York Center, squawk 7146 mode. Charlie, please.
Yeah, we're definitely creeping slightly, so let's come back a little bit on the M1 again.
7146 in the box for Eastern 41.
American 235, cross Lindy, flight level 190 at 250 knots.
Lindy 190 at 250 knots.
80.5, 80-ish. That might have us quite nice.
Just southwest of the Woodstown.
And there goes the tilt of the drone.
What runway can we expect as Philly?
Southwest 190, you can plan the ILS runway 27 right into Philly.
27 right.
And November 01 Tango, climb and maintain flight level 3.
Ben, you know what? I've not actually noticed any significant issues with frames, to be totally honest. Compared to FSLTL's models, I'm actually getting really good performance.
8,000 maintain present heading.
Kevin, you know what? That's a weird thing. So 2 days ago we used toolbar pushback. Did we use toolbar pushback? Oh no, we didn't. We taxied straight ahead, didn't we?
Number 1 Tango Romeo was which airport, please?
So perhaps it's worth us putting onto the toolbar pushback thing on VATSIM.co that it's not currently working on for the new CRJs. Wrong way. What you want to do, maybe try just renaming your community folder so the sim has to create a new one.
Iberia 6252, go ahead.
And wrong way, it could be something from the marketplace, but it's not from Microsoft. They're just the reseller, if you like. So if it's something like a Brecod Typhoon or one of those dodgy, horrible aircraft that have found their way onto the marketplace through lack of quality control, then it could be something like that. Drini, we did indeed. That's a good job, because we wouldn't have been able to push back anyway. Centurio, bizarre. Toolbar pushback or pushback helper.
Southwest 539 cross Trish 12000.
Oh, toolbar pushback. Yeah. I mean, I've got FS2 Cruise pushback express.
Trish 12000, 250 knots, Southwest 539.
Ground speed of 398 now. Doing 320 knots. There's that top descent just coming in there, you can see that. There's SLT.
14,000, the Philly altimeter is 3034.
Cross at 14,000.
And one of the big things is things like toolbar pushback. If they stop working, you've got to sort of just not use it again, because it can try and I think you can give a bit of instability or confuse the sim. Or crash the desktop if you start turning it on and off, like I was doing earlier actually at Boston. I was triggering, like toggling pushback on and off way too much.
Sir, could you just please repeat the taxi direction for November 52?
Oh, there's DCA ground on and Philadelphia Tower. It's a shame we're not going into either of those.
Sorry, we're going to runway 24 via Lima, Quebec, crossing 190, November 52,
KPIT. So winds 150 at 3 knots, 10 statute miles visibility, broken cloud 8,000 meters, feet, broken 11,000, and overcast 25,000. Plus 5 degrees Celsius for the temperature and minus 3 for the dew point. An altimeter of 3018. One thing we need to look at is the airfield elevation at Pittsburgh. So let's just bring up 28 left, I think we're planning for. Yeah, 28 left. So we've got an ILS frequency of 1089 to keep an eye out for, and that's IPFS. A course of 281 degrees for that ILS approach via Pete. We've got to be at basically at Pitts at 3000.
American 235, turn right heading 190.
And we've got
descend and maintain 13,000.
1,200 feet for airport elevation, basically.
3034. Plan the ILS 31 right approach.
Yeah, I've got ILS 28 left for Pittsburgh. David. I'm very tempted though to drop it round to 10.
Radar contact. Turn left heading 090 direct ditch. Climb and maintain flight level 230. Eastern 41, descend and maintain flight level 270.
Well, that's 1200. So, landing elevation at the minute is set to 0. We want to go up here to set 1200.
Eastern 41, descend and maintain flight level 270.
Wow, someone's having a party.
JetBlue 103, radar contact. Climb and maintain 17,000.
140. 1300. 80, 60, 40, 20. 0. 1200. There we go. Wrong way, yeah. I think I have heard that if you rename your community folder, the sim thinks it's disappeared, can't see it, so it pretty much builds a new one for you. So it could be worth trying that.
Delta 961, your clearance on request, standby.
Southwest Southwest 190, did we miss anything?
Fly-by-wire's dropped a big update today. Their custom flight plan manager is now pretty much working in, I think, the new stable version they've just released. Oh, that's a good point, Centurio.
EVM 0 Bravo Charlie under
KPIT ATIS. So in America you can get the ATIS online, can't you?
Wind 230 at 5, runway 24, clear for takeoff.
After departure, turning right, heading 280, clear for takeoff, number 230 Bravo Charlie. Senate, just to confirm, we got a reroute in between the flight and...
departing runway 28 right, it says, so it's going to be landing 28 left, departing 28 right.
Southwest 190, roger. Continue the GIMS 3 arrival, maintain 14,000.
Continue with GIMS 3 arrival and maintain 14,000, roger.
JetBlue 103, turn left heading 060, direct Merit, climb and maintain 17,000.
Expect ILS runway 32 or ILS runway 28 left. It says, so we're going to stick with ILS runway 28 left. Multiple approaches in use, so we could use both.
Cleveland Center is closed, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, Endeavour 258, thanks for the ATC. On to 28. Clifton, I'm in a bit of a blend actually between high and ultra. And I get actually really nice performance on the system with this. Clouds and all that sort of stuff are on high. Should almost, that's really green down there, be looking at potentially hitting top of descent in about 10 minutes. What have we got? Cleveland's offline and we've got 28 left. So we've got the airport elevation set. Let's reset the heading bug. Everything in the radio page, we can manually tune it if we want to, but it should automatically tune itself as we get to about 30 or so miles away. What other things have we got nav aid wise that we could tune anyway? ILS 28 left, onto a VOR 120, and that is it. So we should get that tune anyway. Transition level flight level 180. Missed approach, climb to 4,000 on heading at 280 degrees and HLG VOR radial 043 inbound to HLG and hold. Oh, Drini, absolutely. You've got to be a lot more proactive. Decision heights, ILS DA 1325. So I mean that's a long spin away, so I'm just going to do a DH, which is 200. That's probably just as far. I'm going to find out which one's the quickest. That's 200. LJC, yeah, it should do. 1325, we'll run that to 1330. Yeah, it should do. So that's pretty good. I think the new 7.3 beta, stable version for fly-by-wire might have the custom flight plan manager inside of it now, if I read it correctly. So that's really quite cool. Or is it? Perhaps not. It's in the latest development branch, I know that much. So the custom flight plan manager that's been in the experimental version for the last couple of months is now in the dev branch as well. Yeah, so Johnny was asking, is the CRJ harder to fly than the A320? Gridman's saying, for British Av Geek it's not, but everyone else, yes, way more difficult. No, it is harder. You've got to be a lot further ahead of the game. So in the A320, you can take off, hit autopilot on, manage speed, managed heading, and altitude, away you go. And that's it. And then you don't have to touch anything till you get there. Throttles and everything else. With this though, it's there's a lot sort of less there's a lot less inertia. It's a bit more twitchy on the controls, and the throttle is all ours to control. So you've got to try and set the right N1 based upon the conditions to try and hold the speeds that you want. He says as it's ever so slightly creeping up, and you've got to be checking it all the time. If you take your eye off the ball in the CRJ for just a couple of minutes, it can really sort of cause you some problems, overspeed or near, almost stalling. It's a lot more hands-on. There's a lot more manual inputs required as well, and just generally more sort of careful management of the aircraft. Airbus is very automatic. This is not. I'd like to think if I can fly this, I can fly a 737 quite happily. I'd like to think, he says. There's got here for a little cockpit view. Look at that valley down there. That's stunning. Oh, absolutely, Drini. As I said a little earlier on, it's my favourite aircraft in the sim at the moment because it is hands-on. You can really enjoy some quite funky approaches. As Centuria said there, it's a smaller plane, so it's far more responsive to your inputs, which makes it easy to hand fly, though a lot of people have trouble with the lack of an auto throttle. And in this as well, you've got to remember RNAV approaches are very different. You don't get the VNAV element, so that is down to us to work out. And Jonathan, yeah, hopefully they can fix a couple of things like that, those little quality of life features. I'd love to think that they can fix it soon. I'm going to have to quickly look at, let's pin that. Let's unpin Boston. Snap back to that one. We want the star, Haynes 7 arrival. Let's pin that bad boy. Grace. Expect 10,000 at Grace. I think that's pretty much telling us that anyway. And that'll probably be about alright. Because we're only at 24,000 feet, so call it 50. Centurio, 737 is really easy to fly. Overhead just looks a little bit intimidating. Yeah, I'm going to start looking at a couple of videos to try and understand the overhead a little bit. I am really looking forward to the PMDG 737. Thomas, hey man, planning to get the INI A310 for Christmas, what do you think? It looks great, but I haven't got a clue. Because I think that's is that X-Plane? I don't have X-Plane, sadly. Or there's plenty of people in the live chat that I think have got the A310 actually, or the A300 at the very least. LJC, do you know if the Flybauer has RNAV compatibility? It does, yes. I've come across some airports with RNAV, I'm not sure if the Flybauer can do it. So it's got the RNAV capability, but I think it doesn't have a proper VNAV in it yet either, from memory. So you've still got to control the vertical speed element of it, and then it will just give you the LNAV approach effectively, I think, from memory. It's been a long time since I've done an approach. An RNAV approach in the A320. See, we made a tiny adjustment of 0.5% N1, but the wind's changed ever so slightly, and look what's happened to our speed. And it's been, what, 60 seconds since we were just talking about how you've got to watch the CRJ really closely. Thomas, try and explain 11 and Zebo. I'd love to, but I don't want to buy a second simulator. I'm very much sort of not loyal to Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I'm quite invested in it. and I want to give it its best a chance as possible. I really enjoy MSFS. DJXM, we are flying to Pittsburgh at the moment. We're going Boston to Pittsburgh, Endeavour 5258. We're then going to turn around at Pittsburgh and then fly onwards to LaGuardia, potentially for an expressway visual approach, runway 31, if the conditions stay almost as sort of calm as they are, but if not, it's going to be the ILS runway 22 approaching to LaGuardia. And we've got the new field there, sim, LaGuardia airport scenery as well. I'll say new, I think it's been out for a few months now. So I purchased that a little while ago, last night actually, I just downloaded it this morning. Percent in about 20. There's Grace in about 50 or so miles, 60 miles to Grace. Getting choppy indeed. The clouds still look fantastic. There we go, so we've done 0.5% M1 again, and we've got that speed within the range, lasting along at 320 knots. Grace to 10,000, Haynes, Myron, and then what do we need? ILS, Pete, 4,000 I think. Looks like it. So we've got our minimum set. We've got sidestep landing runway 28 centre. That sounds awesome. Higher minimums for that though, of course. I don't think I've shown you guys the Navigraph charts yet. Pittsburgh, so that's what this looks like. The approach, we're going to come in initial approach fix of our Pete, but in short we're going to be sort of coming in from the north by Haynes, so Slate Run down to Irad, Grace, 10,000 at Grace, and then continue a descent down to about 4,000 by just after Myron. Really, we go into vectors to head towards the airfield, and then we're going to intercept at Pete and then start to establish on the ILS approach, nice and far out, 4,000, step down to 3,000 for the glide slope from Pitts, which is 5 miles from the airfield, 3-degree glide slope and 1325 for the decision heights. There we are, good old Jefferson charts. The speed's crept up a little bit to the upper end, so we're just going to bring that throttle back a little bit more. We're about to hit top of descent anyway, so we can prep 10,000. Vertical speed mode. We're going to bring the throttle back a little bit, and as that starts to come off and the speed decelerates, we get the nose to stop coming down as well. We'll do 1800 foot per minute. We'll trigger that and then we'll see and hear what it's suggesting. Grace 1900 foot per minute, lovely stuff, let's set that. We could probably get away with 1800 to be honest, but we'll find out in a second because we're about to cross top of descent. We'll then get the snowflakes, that advisory VNAV that we get in this, and we'll get the ball down on this vertical speed display. Find gate Delta 82, yeah, we've located that. The opposite side of the airfield though, but we will taxi round to that that stand. There's the snowflake, and we're bang on it. So we'll try and maintain that. We should at some point get the banana, he says. Might bring that throttle back a tiny bit more. This is where, in the CRJ especially, throttle calibration is key. So you can make those tiny adjustments. Of sort of like 0.5% and one here and there. Bit more, let's come off to about 70%-ish. We'll just see what happens here as we start to descend through the cloud. LJC, no, it doesn't have an auto throttle, it's all down to us. LJC, you know what, after you've done it a few times, it's actually really easy to manage. It's all about sort of trying to get the feel for what the aircraft's going to do next, and again, it's part of thinking ahead in the CRJ, a lot further than in an Airbus. Where we got here, radio page, we'll just monitor that because we want to make sure, of course, we spot nav1 auto tune for us. We descend down through a bit of pea soup. Drini, that is weird. Have you got any mods or anything that might be saved into that? I know you said you've got nothing in the community folder, but is there anything at all that might be conflicting or causing issues in the main menu? So we've hit 68, 69% one, and it's actually holding really nicely. Okay, but it can do, yeah, if it's really violent. I think I had that in the fly-by-wire the other day. It sort of, it actually confused me a little bit because I didn't quite expect it to disappear like that. Winds are minus, aren't they? So let's get some wing icing and cowl icing on. Because it's rather chilly, and I'm going to put that onto windshield onto high, I think. We got those heating elements nice and hot there. We're below the transition now. What was the altimeter? 3018. There's our little banana, which is just after Grace. What have we got here? Grace expect 10,000. So actually, let's bring that down a bit more. We're going to keep our speed up. Oh, there's an aircraft that's around us. Above, apparently, directly above. Where are you? Or is it below? Can't be below us. It's got to be above us somewhere. Can't see a chuffing thing. There's the TCAS alert for it. $127. Climbing up and away by the looks of it. Ah, Kevin, weird. Are you in the fly-by-wire? So we're going to get... There we go, Grace 10,000. So let's continue down to 4. Let's see what it tells us for that. We can start to think about bringing our speed back as well to 250. I'll set 245, and then ideally then the tip of that magenta bug will be... let's idle the throttle now. The tip of that magenta bug should be at 250. There we are. flying through the clouds. Yeah, terrain, I think terrain is back, if not almost back. You'll be pleased to know. Let's reset that. And have a quick look at performance. What have we got here? VREF 139, we'll call it 144. Approach. Oh, the CRJ9, wow. Check your like your sensitivities to make sure you've not got any ghost inputs or anything like that causing a bit of problem. And we want Delta 82. Well. Oh, wrong way. Perfect. There we go. Glad we've been able to help you. Then you've got to go through the 2-3 days worth of AIG downloads as well. Well, they've just updated the A330neo. Exciting. We're going to go in for a bit of high speed approved for the approach, I think. Let's go to 1400. David, we're going to be landing on runway 28 left with an ILS. Taxi charts, we want those out, let's pin those, and parking charts, pin. Pittsburgh traffic, Endeavour 5258, CRJ900, inbound, descending through 9000, Haynes expecting ILS, approach runway 2 something left. 28 left, Pittsburgh traffic. There's 250. Let's also get the landing lights and stuff on. So again, it's we've got to manage the throttle here. So we've got to hold our speed and set that sort of speed that we want. We can arm left and right thrust reversers. Everything else is set as we need it. And we could probably bring this in a little bit more. In fact, from Myron in 7 miles. Going to be onto the ILS. Can you get metal through the CDU menu in the CRJ? I don't think you can. I mean, if somebody knows there is a way, then do tell. That'd be fantastic. 180. .230 knots, that should be nice for a little stable descent, to be fair. There comes the ground down below us, just poking through the cloud. That's stunning. Look at that. Little screen grab of that. We'll go sterile in a second and get rid of the music. Because we're going to get really busy in a wee second. Pittsburgh's just off through there somewhere. Let's go to... sorry, actually it's Cowhicing off. I should have given us some warning there because I've just turned that off by accident. Okay, that's the star complete. We're going to go to Pete now, which is coming up. Now, is it going to turn us left? If it is, it solved itself with vectors. Yes. It is. Let's continue down to 3,000. Sending on idle still. Let's get rid of this music. Music keeps tripping me up. I've been intending to mute it for the last 4 songs. Okay, I know what it's doing here. Heading, let's go. It's giving us vectors to kick round into Pete, basically. Let's go to 1,800 feet per minute. Good stuff. So the experimental branch has gone again then. I wasn't a fan of it coming back in the first place, to be entirely honest. There's Pittsburgh off in the distance. Actually, by the looks of it, we're going to be passing over the central business district of the city. And that's where... oh, look at that fog that's just rolled in.
American 4624 check.
What do we want? 1089. It has pre-selected that. $250. Wow. I mean, that's quite remarkable. Look at the fog. I've got to snap back to this real quickly because very shortly we need to be turning right to intercept the ILS. Although interestingly it's not. There we go, 281 is the course as well. There we go, nav source, we've selected that now, so green and green. Don't quite know what the dog's barking at. This is quite a cool approach in the fog. We're going to hold 200. We're going to go to flaps 8. We're going to wait for those needles to align. 28 left. Sorry, yeah, 28 left has actually done us a bit of a favour because it's... oops. There we go. Because it's actually bringing us in nearer to the city. What do we want? 144. Pittsburgh traffic Endeavour 5258 is established. ILS 28 left to land about 12 miles. Bloody click spot. Bring in some more flaps here, get that nose down. Look at that. That is cool. Now why is it liming? Very bizarre bit of altitude behaviour there. So this could be interesting. It could be that the ILS is a bit balked. Here goes the gear. Trini. Good to hear. Not looking too bad there actually, but I'm going to have to do a speed check. It's got a habit of tripping up on you, so you can enjoy the views like this, and then all of a sudden you'll click back into the flight deck. You'll be over speeding like we almost were a second ago. Or actually, that's not too bad. We've seemed to have set the throttle quite nicely. Ollie, hello. Kevin, awesome. Yeah, you know what? I'm the same. I've been pretty pleased with this Sim Update 7 stuff. Bit more power here. Lost the glide slope ever so slightly. Don't forget the replay. I'm not going to replay this one because I don't want to risk it causing a crash to desktop, which it can sometimes do. So we're going to do the replay into LaGuardia, if that's okay with you guys. This Pittsburgh scenery, by the way, is on flightsim.to. You've got to download a ton of dependencies for it. It's like 27 different files in the end across 3-4 packages, which is really annoying, but we're about to find out if it's worth it or not. Where are we? We're sort of about 5 miles now. Simon, hello. Wow, I had no end of crash to desktop since Sim Update 7. Well, have you got anything installed that's in particular? Thomas, we're going to be going to Delta 82 for the gates. That's all good, that's all set, that's ready to go, and yeah. LJC, fingers crossed. Some beautiful screenshots from that approach.
1,000.
My controls. Go full flaps now. Final approach, couple of miles, about 2-3 miles. Get a bit more power in. I'm just going to retrim for that glide slope because it's brought us in ever so slightly below it. Could have cheated and done the side step for 2A centre. Speed. So that's pretty much everything set for touchdown. Speed.
500, 400, 400.
This is a beautiful approach.
300, 300.
The rad nav thing is not liking it. The rad out.
300.
Sync rate.
200.
Sync rate.
Shush now. We're fine.
100.
Sync rate.
50, 40, 30, 20. Minimums.
Bit of a float.
10.
Oh, that was a late landing. We got it down smooth though. Foxtrot 5 actually, we're going to vacate on, is going to be worth it for us. Because we're then just going to go straight on Victor onto Charlie and then round we go. Happy days. There we are, touchdown.
Delta 90 established on the localizer 2A left, Pittsburgh traffic.
Pittsburgh traffic endeavour 5258 vacating at Foxtrot 5 and taxi to stand Delta 82 via Victor, Charlie and Delta. Drini, thanks. Cythera, nice, thank you. So straight on to Victor. 1, 2, 3. Oops, leave that one on, leave the strobes, we can turn that one off. Go left here. Actually, doesn't look too bad so far, this scenery. Crossing runway 28 centre. We are clear. Sorry PC, we were a bit too choppy there. Drini, yeah, I think the minimums were a bit wrong there because they should have been about 200 feet.
departs the gate and the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. This will be your only indication that it's safe to stand and gather your personal belongings. All seats caution of you open the overhead bins as items do have a tendency to shift during flight. For those of you wishing to use your cell phones, it is now safe for you to do so. As a reminder, your laptop computers must remain stowed until we're parked at the gate. It has certainly been our pleasure.
I mean, that's pretty nasty. Look at that.
Have an absolutely gorgeous day ahead of you. We certainly hope what your future plans call.
Don't even know what that's supposed to be.
Once again, select Delta Airlines. Thank you and have a great time here.
We're going to depart runway 28 right, which is up here, so it's one of the closer runways. It looks like it, doesn't it? Even though it didn't look like it was going to be that bad. And it mentioned nothing about Google photogrammetry either, to be totally honest. But look at that, that is bloody awful. I can't stand scenery with Google photogrammetry. It looks like a dog's dinner. I mean, that's being polite. Latin VFR's RX custom ground vehicle pack. Oops, hello. Seem to have lost the rudder then. We're back. Got distracted. They're going to breath test me at this rate. Matthew T, hello. Hope you're okay. What have we got here then? So north ramp, Charlie 2, Charlie 1 coming up. So we're going to take into the V. Then we're going to go around the V to sort of where that aircraft there is parked. Well, look at that, 737, American Airlines. 1, 2, 3, 4 stands in. So we're going to be to the right hand side of the British Avgeek Osprey A320 Neo there. Well, kids, very cool. Do you know what aircraft?
Pittsburgh traffic.
Ooh, this is a rather tight spot. Might have to reverse with like thrusters again. Boom, boom, there we go. Latin VFR's Jetway Pro making the default jetways look a lot better as well for us today. Hopefully we'll be able to see you guys land when we get to LaGuardia as well, because that was a longer taxi than I envisaged. But hey ho. Good of it, yes. Oh, I've had a coffee, but it's just not enough. So, and that's the end of that route, but interestingly that's not recorrected itself. No bother, we've got all that off anyway, and it's pretty much going to clear itself in a second. We need to disconnect from VATSIM and reconnect with our new flight call sign. 5122, in we are. Pittsburgh to LaGuardia. Let's do chocks, where are they? Chocks, door. We've got to do Volanta as well, of course we do. So if we review the flight so far, let's get Volanta up. There we are. It's a nice little. In fact, there's the direct 2 that we had on departure. We got a left turn over the bay, and then headed up over Chelsea, Somerville, Waltham, climbing all the way up to 24,000 before heading over sort of bit of New York airspace, and then into Pennsylvania, Cleveland Center, into Pittsburgh. There's the touchdown, 103 foot per minute at 1.04 G, which actually is not too bad. Quite happy with that. Now we've got to add the flight for the return. We'll just pick that one.
Pittsburgh traffic, Delta 490 is clear to 28 left.
That route looks a bit weird. So, KPIT to KLGA, LaGuardia, KBOS for the diversion. And the route literally for us is... Oosh, where is it? Direct to TYROO. And then direct to PSB. That is it. Seriously, that is it. And then it's going to be the runway 28 right departure, pit 5, which I think is just like Chicago. It's going to be, after departure, it's going to be vectors onto your route. And then LaGuardia, there's a MIP 4. I'm actually going to put in... Yeah, you know, I really want to do the Expressway visual. That is good fun. Right, you guys can decide in the live chat. Let me set up a poll and I'll see what we can... If you guys want to see the Expressway option, let me set up a poll. Vote for your preferred choice of LGA approach.
Captain, all passengers
There we go.
have left the plane.
I've still got Volanta on. After all of that. Still the coffeeless start. So basically all I've done is I've gone into the flight plan and I've just typed in KPIT to LGA, alternate of Boston, and then it's direct TYROO, and that is literally our route, direct TYROO, direct PSB, that is it, and then I've hit execute. I've then gone across to departure arrivals and I've selected runway 28 right for departure and then pit 5, and that is it really. We'll leave the poll open until we get airborne and then we'll put in a arrival procedure for us to follow. We're now Endeavour EDV 5122. EDV 5122. We want to go to perf init page. Cruise was flight level 230. Alternate of 210. And we want to set up our performance page here. So it's telling us that we need 4,552 kilos. That'll do. And then we'll set the V speeds and copy perf init to FMS. V1 of 143. That's gone in. You can see there that's all fed in there quite nicely. And the ISA dev from SimBrief is 0, so we can just leave that as it is as well. And transitions, etc., all of the same too. Perf flex 46. That's always the one that they say is a good number. VNAV radio progress, flight plan, departure arrivals, index fix. Happy days. there's our routing for today. Madness. Which is actually going to be quite interesting because where's TYROO in relation to this? TYROO's miles away. So on the charts, let's look at the charts because that's going to help us actually decipher all of this. We're at Delta 82, we need to bring in the new flight plan. And then charts for Pittsburgh, SID, Pittsburgh 5. Oh yeah, so it's going to be fly runway heading 281 and then, oh Jesus. 28 right, vertical structures beginning 9 from the 4 left of centre line up to 1 AGL. Vertical structures beginning 9 from the centre line, 1 AGL, 1204, tree 21. Bush, yeah, okay, that's fine, that's all just bits and bobs. There's nothing there in relation to that.
Get yourself a doppio before flying the next leg, smile.
Goodman, thank you very much for your super chat. That's really generous of you. I don't even know what a doppio is, but I assume it's going to be like a cappuccino or something. Airtime of 58 minutes. It's telling us here, climb on a heading of 281 until leaving 1700 and a tops of 5000. So over in the overhead here we can set 5. And we can set this 2, which is going to be climb heading 281. Like so, so that's set as well. God, that is it. Nav source, is that back onto... Yeah, back onto nav. That is bloody miles away, that is. Let's get rid of the MDA because we don't need to see that. Bit of master cautions and a master warning. Captain London, there is no auto throttle on this aircraft. It's all down to us to control. They're locked shut at the moment, so we'll unlock those in the starter procedure in a very short while. But no, there's no auto throttle whatsoever in this aircraft. Let's switch your overhead panel thing. KPIT to LGA, and it's Endeavour 5122, so that should update for your overlay. Not that I can see it particularly well. There's us. There's not quite sure who that is, but a very warm welcome to you. If you're in the live chat, do say hello. There's Thomas. And David should be. David could become the king of multitasking here. Where is he? Where's he gone? He said he vacated a few minutes ago. Has he gone all the way over there? I mean, that's a properly awful looking little bit of scenery, isn't it? Where did he go? Oh, David, it's you. Fantastic. I've no idea where David A's disappeared off to. Do I recommend this scenery? Probably not. This freeware scenery is not great, to be totally honest. It's not worth all the trouble with the dependencies and things as well, which I cannot stand at the best of times. There goes Volanta with its state saving again. There we are. Oh, okay. David, no worries at all. That's pretty good. Wow, ATM 1G. That's awesome. Right, I think we're ready to go. Oops, wrong one. That's the one. Wheel chocks in place. Pittsburgh, traffic Endeavour 5122 at stand Delta 82. Push start to face northwest. Beacon on. Oh, that's why I forgot to turn the nav lights off.
And American 466, Pittsburgh traffic pushing back.
Jerry, we're at Delta 82, that's sort of those stands at the moment. Wrong way. Wrong way, I have no idea I'd imagine it's probably dev branch. Let's arm the thrust reversers because we're going to use them to push back in a second. And while we do that, we can start the safety demonstration as well, because it was quite a long one, wasn't it? And I think... Where's my taxi charts? There we go. It's quite a short taxi. So using the Luke Air tool.
At this time, in just a few moments, we'll be showing you the safety video. Once the video has concluded, we'll be in the aisles to answer any questions you have before we're seated for taxi out. Again, thank you for choosing Delta today. My name is Susan. I'm your purser for today's flight, along with Charles in the economy cabin.
7.1.
We do welcome you aboard.
Make sure we set stab trim. That's really important.
At Delta, we think our world feels smaller when you get out in it. That's why the best men and women in the business work each day to take you to the people, places, and cultures that make this world such an amazing place.
It's very American, isn't it? Hi, Susan Ritter.
Together, one flight at a time.
Susan gets around Ritterman. She's a very busy lady. Fantastic. Right, are they on yet? Yes, there we go, thank you.
We are a planet of amazing differences.
One of cultures and ideas that span our world and link us each to another, whoever you are.
Wherever you're going,
we are proud to fly you there.
Because the first step towards connection
is departure.
Is listening to Susan's and a safety demonstration.
And thanks for flying with Delta.
Our first priority on every flight is
Hi,
the safety
hello.
of our customers and crew. So, before we depart,
please pay attention to this important safety message.
Be sure that all carry-on items are securely stowed in an overhead bin, and place smaller items, including handbags, under the seat in front of you. If you lose your electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for assistance. Please ensure all aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas are clear.
as we leave the gate, make sure your seatbelt is fastened. To fasten, insert the metal tip into the buckle and adjust the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release the belt, just lift the top of the buckle. If you're seated in the business class cabin, secure your shoulder harness by attaching the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, remove the metal tip and allow the shoulder harness to retract. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. And even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience unexpected rough air.
For everyone's safety, federal regulations require all passengers to comply with the posted placards and lighted information signs located throughout the cabin,
flaps
in
8.
addition to any crew member's instructions.
Smoking, including
guys,
use of
been great so far.
e-cigarettes, is
We're
not
off to
allowed
fill
on any
there's
Delta flight,
LaGuardia
and
now.
federal law prohibits tampering with,
Depending on
disabling, or destroying
ATC,
a
we're
restroom
going to try and
smoke
get
There are
the
8
Expressway visual, I think. Depends on the what's this telling us? Yeah, everybody's wanting the 73% wanting the Expressway visual. Wow.
As a raft. All exits are clearly marked with an exit sign. However, if
Garuda,
there's
definitely
cabin visibility,
absolutely good, man.
Illuminate the aisles to guide you.
Please note that exit signs on this airplane identify each exit with a green symbol. Arrows indicate the direction to
Pittsburgh
the
traffic
exit.
Endeavour
Locate the exit
5122,
nearest you using
taxi
these
into
green
28 right,
symbols.
hold point
Keeping in
Bravo,
mind the nearest
1,
exit
5
might
Charlie
be
4
behind
Bravo.
you. In the event of an evacuation, leave all carry-on items behind. It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, the panels above your seat will open, revealing oxygen masks. If this happens, reach up and pull the mask or red streamer towards you until the tube is fully extended. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, slip the elastic strap over your head, and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note that oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely. But just in case, life vests are located under your seats in the main cabin. If you're seated in the business class or Delta Premium Select cabin, life vests are located either in a compartment adjacent to your seat or under your armrest.
Good job I spotted that one.
To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head,
boss
wrap
man.
the strap around your waist, and attach it to the
No
buckle
problem.
in front. And adjust securely
Disappoint
around your
me,
waist.
but-
As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the
There's
bottom
some
of the vest,
AIG
or manually
nav
inflate
lights
it
over
by
there.
blowing into the tube at shoulder level.
Racing Thomas as well.
light is attached to each vest. If necessary, we'll distribute additional life vests for
We're
children
a regional,
who weigh 35
so
pounds or
we're always
less.
in a rush.
Now, before we take off, be sure your seat is upright and your tray table is put away. If you're seated in the business class cabin, ensure your suite door is open. Please note there is a placard on the door, visible when open, explaining how to use the suite door in case of an emergency. If you're seated in the
weirdly, I
main
quite like
cabin,
it.
ensure your aisle armrests are lowered, and in the Delta Premium Select cabin, ensure your aisle armrests are raised.
As we come through the cabin for our final safety check, please let us know if you have any questions. And finally, now would be a good time for everyone to review the safety information card, which is in your seat pocket.
As we span this amazing world of ours, we celebrate all the connections. Thank you for choosing Delta to be a part of your journey.
Now, as we get ready for takeoff, please sit back, settle in, and have a wonderful flight. Thank you for flying with Delta.
Who that? Or is the is it Cleveland Browns, as they say? Who dat? It's an American.
And Pittsburgh traffic, American 466.
Where's the threshold?
Entering safe.
Hello. Faster than we thought. Ooh, Thomas could hold. I'm going to line up behind him. That's a little A318 or a little 737 or something. Pittsburgh traffic, Endeavour 5122 lining up in sequence at Bravo 1 runway 28 right.
Pittsburgh traffic, Osprey 7 Alpha Golf, taxi into holding point Bravo 1, runway 28 right via Charlie and Bravo.
And before somebody asks, this is entirely okay.
And Pittsburgh traffic, American 466 is taking off runway 35.
Right, I will remember this time, because I'm going to do it now. Toga. Mikhail, yes, very true. The captain is extremely tired and fatigued and has forgotten many things today. Now we've got to wait 2 minutes. so there's all that big old rush to get away, and got to wait 2 minutes. Ooh, who's that spawned in? That's somebody else flying along. Little American CRJ looking awesome. And there's David in the fantastic Osprey A320. Thomas is airborne. So we can take the time just to make sure we've got everything set up. So manual crossflow is set. APU door is closed and it's off. All the lights and signs as required. We haven't got any cowling icing on. We put them onto low. And that is literally everything. We've got 5,000 set initially and 281 degrees for runway heading. And then after departure we're going to turn right at 1,700, no earlier than. Yes, and then climbing out to 5. It should be, shouldn't it, Dwell? Jerry, nice. Blue Street 1056. Sound any cooler, Susan might get off my aeroplane and jump ship. Where's my throttle? It was up there anyway. Basically, because we're all going to the same place, we want to have a bit of separation. Especially because we're going to be flying into New York airspace. If they're going to still be online for us in a short while, there's every chance actually they might come back online, but they have gone offline now. What's that? They've got, wow. Newark has got a ground controller. Oh, we've got LaGuardia Tower online. So by that point we're going to be, yeah, we're already on the expressway visual. We're coming in anyway. Right, I think we're ready to go. Engine set to oh yes. To TYROO, thank you. I knew I'd forgot something today. Pittsburgh traffic, Endeavour 5122 departing runway 28 left, Pittsburgh 5 departure. Pittsburgh traffic. We got takeoff config OK on the CAS, set up to 40. Toga. Thrust is set. I feel like we're heavy. Ooh yeah. Nice channel livery you've got there. Matthew, hello.
Traffic, Osprey 1 Alpha Golf, lining up and waiting runway 28 right.
Come on, we are heavy, heavy. Jesus, we are very heavy. E-rated takeoff, V1 rotate, and up we go. You're up. There goes the minimum's cool. Needed that on the way in, not on the way out. So flying runway heading 281. Gonna go heading mode, speed mode, autopilot on. Pittsburgh traffic, Endeavour 5122 airborne, passing 3000 for a right turn, dead side. Marcus, welcome on board. Dwyer, we're literally just looking at Volanta, pretty much. Let's keep going up here to about 220. Go to 210 actually, it's going to be above T.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude, we'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you and a welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience
An American always wins in speed. Alright, good luck with that then.
We ask that you also please remember to use
caution
CRJ if opening the overhead bins
into the climb gate
to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff.
And continuous ignition off, manual crossflow override.
We've now reached an altitude where it's safe to
not
use
yet, we haven't.
approved electronic devices. And a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it'll be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies.
All-day goodies, wow. What are they?
Beer, wine, and spirits are available, complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket.
So we are literally going direct to TYROO now.
Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks.
Although interestingly,
you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows,
got a nav
movies,
mode now.
and music. You will find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip.
Ooh, doesn't like it.
Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
So we might potentially have to do this in heading mode all the way. And let's configure for the Expressway visual as well. So, LaGuardia. Runway 31. MIP4. What's it going to be?
Osprey 7 Alpha Golf, passing 3,000 feet, right turn downside, left side.
Oh, Jesus, I thought I was. Thanks. This is what 3 hours of sleep does to you. I clicked that twice on the ground as well. Jeez. Oh well, I'm glad you guys are flying along with me and holding my hand. Let's clack it straight up to 300 knots again. Now it works. This is why we need real CRJ pilots watching the channel. What a coincidence. Thanks, Matthew. What's the LaGuardia charts showing us? Harp. No, it was the Milton 4, I think, isn't it? To Apple. We're coming in via PSB.
Pittsburgh traffic is Denver 5842, turning right final 28 left.
That is our route. All the way down to Apple it should end at, I think. Apple and Proud. Lovely job. So, the star, we've got it configured as per the request in the votes. The LaGuardia Expressway visual runway 31 approach. Slight crosswind for this though, but we'll just do it anyway, give it a go, it's always good fun. We're going to come in via Phillipsburg, PSB VOR 1155, and we're going to then head up to Milton LIP 1092, before then flying 117 degrees through all of these different waypoints: Mark, Biley, Vibes, Lizzie, Beauty, Harlem, Dreams, Apple, and then all the way down into Proud when we're going to be about 2,500 feet. Manhattan is going to be on the left, LaGuardia is going to be on the right, and LaGuardia is going to be in front of us, and JFK is going to be on the right hand side. We've then got Park visual, runway 31, and the Expressway visual, runway 31. I've not done the Park visual before, I've got to say. While I remember, just need to go to standard pressure now. Yeah, I've not done that before, so that would be quite interesting. And I'm not sure if it's actually factored in or not correctly. But we'll do the Expressway visual, because I know that we hit dials at 2,500 at the white tanks and we turn right to follow the Expressway. So that'd be quite cool. Airport elevation of 21 feet. Don't forget to smash the like button. If you're sitting in the background and you're enjoying the stream, then also do hit subscribe down below as well. And come and join us as one of our frequent flyers. Let's get that wound down. That's 480. Valanta's doing a state saving, so the sims froze. They really need to work on that. 180, 60, 40, 20, 0, 80, 40, 60. We do 60, 40, 20. Lovely. That's our arrival data pretty much ready. Aviation Simulation, you should have joined us. It's really nice. Brandon. Well, should we give that a go? We've got the Expressway visual. Or we could do the park visual RNAV 3.1. I'm happy to do either. Horrible Jolly Pogger music. I'm happy to do either. Both are quite technical by the looks of it. Matthew, true story, once spent 10 hours in the LaGuardia food court on a delay. Horrible day but good food. Every cloud. I mean, I've done a tutorial on this with the A320 quite a while ago, and it's a really nice approach. But this could be quite interesting. Park visual runway 31. When cleared for the park visual, aircraft may proceed via the special RNAV GPS X-ray runway 31 approach to runway 31 and or cross GACA at or below 180 at the 7 towers at 2,500 feet or above, and turn right tracking 059 to Shea at or below 165 to the 4 towers, then right turn tracking 089 to Durrell, Flushing Meadows Park, Lake, then turn left tracking 044 to Keith, Flushing Meadows Park, Round Pond, then left turn tracking 359 degrees to DC Track Stadium, then left turn direct runway 31. Jesus. There is a lock DME actually for that as well, interestingly. 1085. What do you reckon? Smash it in the live chat. Ah, there you go. Matthew, Expressway visual is greater than the park visual. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably leave the autopilot on quite a bit through that RNAV stuff, or you'd at least fly it manually, but you'd be targeting all the waypoints. With the Expressway visual, once you get here, you're in heading mode and you're controlling all of this yourself, and at dials, then I think usually that's when the autopilot comes off, then you fly the approach. Matthew, how many times have you flown the Expressway visual in real life? I mean, there's zero guidance for this. Look at that. It's up to you. You're the pilot. They both give really good views of Manhattan. So Manhattan is here, and we pass the East River. This approach here actually is actually closer to Manhattan ever so slightly, so it could be quite interesting. We'll stick with the Expressway visual runway 31, and I'd probably imagine we're going to give LaGuardia Tower a heart attack when we call up, if they stay online. Let's unpin some of these, and what we want to do is we want to pin Milton 4 approach, Expressway visual, and then we want to do some airport info charts. Says 3-1. We'll probably vacate Lima or Tango. We've got some really nice futuristic scenery of what LaGuardia is going to look like in the future. Yeah, Brandon, yeah, they're going to end up favouring the RNAV. There's Thomas. Told you I'd catch you. Parking gates, what have we got here? Let's pin that as well. That's going to be important for us. And there's the RNAV picture from the Jefferson charts. Jeez, terrible music. That'll do. So there we go, guys. Consider yourselves briefed. Matthew, yeah. That's it. It's literally down to you to make the decision. Kevin, it is, isn't it? It's rather disappointing. It has to be said. Positivity for that though is we're gonna. Oh, if only there was one more vote. But you know what? All of the excitement of planning the approaches, I just left all the lights on. do like the challenging approaches. Expressway visuals. The one into DCA is fantastic. And it's going to be the first time doing this in the CRJ as well, actually, I think. In the 900. I thought I did put the K in there, but I set it up with 3 hours sleep, so there you go. Consider your OCD cured. There's a great visual approach at KPWM. Where is that? Portland. Yeah, I mean now we're going to be able to do a lot more of these sort of approaches and these hops. Harbour Visual 29, nice. That's going to be quite cool. Let's have a look at those on the charts. Actually, let's bring that up. Let's review these charts. This is going to be in the approaches. Harbour Visual. Here we go. Oh wow, Jesus. Bloody hell. Wouldn't even know where to begin. I guess all this entirely comes from wherever you're flying in from, but wow, that does look really cool. I wouldn't want to do the City of Falmouth one coming in straight in. I'd want to do one of these ones, like coming in City of Cape Elizabeth, around there, sweep around the lighthouse, around the next one, then into the river. That would be quite exciting. And there's an ILS for guidance there as well. Pretty cool. Oops. There's me knocking the throttle. I have no idea where the aeroplane thinks it's going. Let's clear some of these discontinuities. Oh wow, we're at MIP already. In about 80 miles. LaGuardia Tower is online. LaGuardia Atis. It says ILS runway 22 approach in use, departing runway 13. I'm going to open a private chat with him. Oops. So I've asked the question. Doesn't matter either. If the controller says no, can't do it, got to do the ILS 22, then so be it. But I'm asking in advance, so hopefully we get the answer we'd like. I think top of descent is after Mark. And he's going to look at like separation and things. Phillipsburg, MIP. Expect to cross Mark flight level 180 or lowest usable flight level. So what's Mark saying in here? Interestingly, there's... Seriously? There's no nav data for the approach. Everything's 230. That's a bit weird. Oh well. Where's the expressway visual? That's going to be 5 miles, so let's do LGA for a little fixed ring. So that's going to put a tiny little 5-mile ring, and that's when I know that if I've got to basically turn as I cross that boundary. Oh, speed. Too busy chatting to the controller. Yeah, LaGuardia, so he's likely going to be off by then, but said we can shoot it if we like, providing, of course, we're not going to get in the way, because they're using 1-3 for departure, so that is literally in conflict with us flying in on 3-1, because they're departing on the opposite direction. So not ideal. So I think it's going to require us to plan a little bit. Oh, Matthew, that's good to know. So I guess it's down to what clearance you get and the controllers and everything else then. Well, let's have a look at Volanta so we can try and look at separation and things. Thomas is ahead of us. There's a couple of aircraft on the ground. At LaGuardia. But if we call up and say that we're inbound expressway visual runway 31 approach, I would like to think it's going to hold people off. Let's just have a little look at the wider traffic around. He's going into Newark. They're not going into, he's going into JFK. Okay, so it's literally just inbound, us inbound by the looks of it. Into LaGuardia at the moment. Yeah. So we can make that work potentially with separation and things, and not get too in the way. Max 70 for you. Okay. I shall slow down a little bit then to do Mach decimal 6970. Do let us know, Thomas, when you're going to start slowing down as well. Wilfredo, exactly. Landing in the crosswind at LaGuardia is tough, and it's going to make it more interesting for us. I like the challenge. Winds at the moment at 230 at 7 knots, so it's pretty straight across the runway effectively. That has strengthened quite a bit. If it all goes a bit Pete Tong, we'll go around and then we'll shoot the ILS runway 22 instead. We've just got to be really clear with people as we're inbound that we're doing runway 31 approach for the expressway visual. And then they can hold short of the runway, or 1-3 for departure until we get in. Milton 4, flight level 180 at Mark. Thomas, what approach are you doing? Just so I know what you're planning in front. Got a bit more power in here. bit too much. Doctor on board, I've just been privately messaging the tower controller, just so that, basically I was asking him if he's going to be online, would we be okay to shoot the expressway visual, and he said he's going to be offline by that point most likely, but he said we're more than welcome to, providing it doesn't conflict with traffic departing 1-3. Ooh, Thomas, nice, you're going for the park visual runway 31, juicy. Goodness me, speed. 52 knot tailwind blasting us along as well, which is quite nice. Right, so I might as well get rid of the VNAV elements here, because they're going to be no use to us. We'll turn on the missed approach, because I don't want to see that. Down to 18,000. Let's bring that throttle back a little bit. So we're at Milton now. Slow to 250 in descending. Oh. Try and keep your speed up to 250 until you get to like 10,000 at Beauty if you can. Because otherwise we're going to really bunch up. It's like that or I'm going to zip straight past you. Expect to cross 13,000, let's keep that going. What was that? Biley. So let's bring that down more. Let's go to 2.2 perhaps, or 2,000. We'll let it stabilise, see what happens. Doctor on board, so I've told the controller in the live chat there are 3 of us that are going to be looking to do the 3-1 approach for the crosswind and for the expressway visual / parkway visual. And so he's aware. He's going to be offline by that point by the sounds of it. 187 just in case he's not. Oh, good old Volanta. Looking forward to checking out this field there, sim scenery. LaGuardia. I purchased it yesterday, last night actually, while I was on night shift. And 1187. Get that pre-tuned ready. And I actually found that buying it on Sim Market was about £9. On Aerosoft's website it was like £12, £13, so huge price difference between the different websites. So always shop around. David's heading for the ILS 22. Mikhail, hello. So I've got the RTX 2070 Super, and I've got a blend of high and ultra set. Wow, below transition already. Meta KLGA. Altimeter 3033. high pressure. And we've got to keep an eye out for Thomas because he's here somewhere and we're going to be up his chuff very quickly. If we bunch up, then I will have to fly a little hold at Harlem perhaps, or I'll do a right turn orbit at Apple. I want to go really like mad and mix things up. So do I actually, Mikhail, and I've found that it's actually my Volanta state saving that seems to be doing it. So have a little look at Volanta to see if you've got it set to like state save every 5 minutes, because I'm finding that's every time it does, it locks my sim up now, whereas prior to sim update 7 it never really did that for me. There we go, it's more centralised. Philip, hello. Yeah, nice, good smooth 30. I've got mine locked to 35. GPU friends. Yeah, live weather's brilliant. It's working really well these days. I don't have a need for any other sort of weather mod or anything like that anymore. This is brilliant. That fog that we had into Pittsburgh was fantastic. As always, I'll pick 4 screenshots from today's live stream. I'll put them on Instagram, Discord and Twitter. If you've not, and Facebook as well. If you've not found all of our other social media pages, then do have a little look on the usual channels and click follow and all the rest of it. I'd very much like to try this in the 737 when PMDG releases it, so perhaps I could revisit it then. 13,000, so go down to 10 now at Beauty. Fat fingers. Fat fingers. Wow, I say fat fingers, it's more the click spots than anything else. Let's do 1,000. 800 foot per minute actually at Beauty. That might even out quite nicely. Yeah, it'd be good if they could fix that, Doctor on board. But I mean, things like fog though. Look at that. That is really cool. Ah, Philip. It's always good to start from smaller airports, and you'll find that some of them, like Edinburgh, as I've done in my sort of top tips, because you've only got one runway and a couple of SIDS and stars, it actually makes it a lot easier to deal with the different requirements. And it also then simplifies you trying to do the flight planning element as well, because you know that you've only got, most likely, if one runway is in use, you've only got one SID that you're going to be using as well for some of these airfields, so it does make it a bit easier for you. And sometimes you just got to throw yourself onto it, and once you've had one good experience, it will give you that confidence. And if you connect and you have a bit of a mare and you don't have a particularly great experience, you just connect again the next day, don't let it put you off, and you'll eventually nail it. Most people on the network know that you have to start somewhere. And as long as you've got a little bit of an idea of what you're saying and what you're doing, the main important thing being, of course, being able to sort of fly and handle the aircraft, at least in some way. So if you get an instruction, you can follow it. And beyond that, I think most of the other controllers are quite happy to just help where they can. Okie dokie, inbound Lizzie. So that's the Allentown VOR. 1,000 to go. We're going to continue down to sort of like 8,000 by Dreams. Yeah, don't go to like, Wade, hello, welcome. One of the top tips I've done. So if you've not checked out my top 10 tips for VATSIM video, do have a look at that. One of the tips I provided there was don't connect to events, especially some of the really busy events. You'll find that you'll very quickly become overworked and overwhelmed, and it will just potentially put you off for good if it all goes drastically wrong. But like Kevin's just said in the live chat, once you start getting used to VATSIM and you get confident with it, you'll never fly offline again. You'll never use multiplayer ever again. Yeah, and it does open up your sim experience to this whole other level of immersion. I mean, it's the closest I'll ever get to being an airline pilot, so I really like it for that, because it sort of gives me quite a big sense of enjoyment from, especially when it's busy and you're nailing the ATC and you're getting hit left, right and centre with vectors and descend here, turn this way and all the rest of it. It gets really good. LJC, yeah, and these things happen. Quite a lot of us were having issues when Microsoft Flight Simulator came out. Quite a lot of us were getting hit with a lot of criticism from controllers because of the new sim. Like Gatwick, for example, was a great example, because the default Gatwick on Microsoft Flight Simulator has got a whole building where the bridge is, the North Terminal. So that whole Lima taxiway, I think it's Lima, is blocked off. You can't use it. And I think a lot of controllers found that very frustrating. But thankfully we didn't have to wait for sort of, too long for some scenery to appear. We've done landing elevation. There is no missed approach. It's basically going to be fly runway heading and climb. We'll probably then head north towards White Plains before committing to an ILS-22 approach instead, if it all does go a bit Pete-tong. Dreams in about 25 miles. LJC, that's it. And some people think VFR is easier, but actually IFR is quite simple, because you've got a predefined set flight plan that everybody, the controllers work from that, and you work from that as well. Yeah, there might be a bit of flex, but all in all, it's a lot simpler than VFR. Brandon liking the Gatwick scenery, so I'm a big fan of the INI builds Gatwick for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I actually get really good performance from that version. But the freeware one was fantastic as well. Up until the point there was so much added that on my system I just couldn't run it. Unless without having like 5 frames per second. Or a crash to desktop actually. That seemed to be a reoccurring theme with that, sadly, as well towards the end. And some of the things LGC are like the regional differences with ATC as well. So in the States you get cleared, and part of your clearance it might be after departure, fly runway heading, climb to 5,000, expect flight level 240 10 minutes after departure. And it might be things like that thrown in. And it's understanding those different regional differences can come in really handy too. Let's go down to 5. To be fair, actually, I don't think we need to go down to 5 yet. How far have we got? There's Apple. We'll just have a real trickle descent down, 200 foot per minute. Why not? Joshua, hello, in Melbourne. Good evening to you. Fisher, is the CRJ worth it and how accurate is it? It's my favourite aircraft in the sim, it's really enjoyable. There's no auto throttle, that's the biggest thing that I get asked very regularly. Thanks for subscribing as well, Fisher, really appreciate it, welcome on board. So all of the throttle management is down to us. But it's not that, once you've done it quite a lot of times, you do get used to it, and you do get used to kind of setting the right power settings for different scenarios effectively. Wade, can't get nav mode to work. Check to make sure you didn't do the mistake I did where you had it in the wrong nav source, having not had anywhere near enough hours sleep. LJC, but sometimes flying in the States is actually easier. So if I show you Navigraph, with the exception of this really complicated glittered star, which, break it down, is actually just a load of different waypoints with different altitudes. But if we went back to Pittsburgh, they've only got one departure, and it's the Pittsburgh 5, and it literally is take off, fly runway heading, and then you get vectors. That is it. And that's actually really easy compared to Europe, because we don't have anything like that in Europe for many of the airports, I don't think, if any at all. Back to the Milton Forge, check my progress. Apple in about 30, so let's keep that coming down. Let's go down to 11, 10,000. Yeah, we'll go to 1,000 foot per minute, shall we? We'll just see what happens here. We've got start to prep the cabin.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our descent, we request that you return to your seat and make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened low and tight across your lap. If you've taken out any carry-on items, please make sure they are safely stowed underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin.
New boy, no it doesn't. Aerosoft I think has done a really good job of this. Of course I'm not a real CRJ pilot at all, but having flown this, I wish I was. Why do people worry with no auto throttle doctrine on board? And I think that is because the Airbus is just so easy for everybody. You can literally just stick it in climb gate, and then that's you done until you idle for touchdown. But I think it's the fact that you're having to check and monitor. A lot of people like to just walk away from their flights for a couple of hours if they're not connected to VATSIM. I like having to think a lot further ahead of the aeroplane than I otherwise would do so in a like an Airbus. Airbus is very easy. It's 3 buttons, and then it will do whatever you've programmed. This can trip you up pretty much at any turn. Philip, no worries at all. I mean, you're always more than welcome to give it a go with us. If you find that we're going to connect somewhere and there's no ATC online and we're just on Unicom, you're more than welcome to just come along with us anyway and practice some of the sort of speaking and the position reports on Unicom, because that's a bit of a skill in itself too. There's New York coming into view. How are we doing here? It's way more fun to have manual throttle. Let's come down here a little bit more. Let's check. Okay, so he's gone offline. So there is no controller. We're going to do a position report in a second, and I'm just going to check here. No, that's JFK. Doof. Okay, so there's one aircraft taxiing out to depart runway 13. 1228. LaGuardia traffic. Endeavour 5122 is a CRJ900 inbound, descending through 5,000. on the MIP5 arrival and tending for the Expressway visual 3-1 approach. Will report at Proud LaGuardia traffic.
And LaGuardia traffic, American 46 to 466 station 3 on MIP4, and we are expecting park visual for 3-1. Overhead Apple.
That's so cool. He's literally 18 miles ahead. Matthew, yes. Yeah, very much so. I mean, I think it's fantastic. I love it. Jake, yeah, I'm not a pilot in real life. I am doing my private pilot's license again, though, in the little PA28s. So I'm working towards getting all of that done again, which is proving really fun, actually, I have to say.
Kennedy traffic just loaded for climbing through 700 on the Kennedy
So, in fact, that is all set up there. That's good. I'm happy with that. Brandon, nail on the head. You've got to think really far ahead, and yeah, it does get really enjoyable, doesn't it? Right, let's step down to our final altitude now, and it's 2,500. Vertical speed. And here we go. We've got to slow right down as well, because we don't want to bunch up too close to Thomas. He's doing a similar procedure. And I'll trickle down at 800 foot per minute. As long as we get to Apple at about 2,500, then we'll be happy, I think. Ooh. Okay, he's airborne and crossing us left to right above. I think we're going to see him, sadly. We potentially might not see much of Manhattan either. And the thing is with this... Oh, I know. Flight recorder. Don't let me forget it's busy here in this airspace at the moment, so I will have to disconnect from VATSIM to do the replay. So don't let me forget. Make sure I don't turn the engines off when we land. He's literally... There he is. Who's that? Right above us up here. Same direction. Climbing up to 7,000. Not appearing on Volanta. Of course not. Here we go. Simon, awesome, just departed Pittsburgh. Right, so altimeters are all set. Performance wise, what have we got? 141.
Kennedy traffic, JetBlue 1483, taking off runway 22 right.
Let's do 146. Yes, Matthew, yes, that is pretty much how it ends up becoming, doesn't it? All ends up a bit of a mess. Here we go, there's Manhattan coming in for the left turn, and we're going to now enter the procedure from Proud. So we're looking for the twin white tanks from... Let's go, configure early, we'll go to flaps 20 now.
Okay, traffic, JetBlue 1083 line up runway 22 right.
And we're going to come back to about 180, I think. Oh god, these bloody click spots.
Yeah, traffic. American 466 is turning to final for 3-1.
LaGuardia traffic, Air Canada 111 will be departing from runway 4 on the British 7 departure.
Oops. Speed 146. We're going to want to set this up to runway heading. It's about 310.
Kennedy traffic, JetBlue 1483 climbing to...
There's Thomas.
2000.
I'm looking forward to this. Prospect Park coming up, dead ahead. That's where we've got to be at 2,500 feet. Unless that's actually below us. No, yeah, there we go. So that's Prospect Park. We are well in the procedure now, folks. Let's get rid of this music because it's going to go really stressful really quickly.
And LaGuardia traffic, American 466 of short final 431.
LaGuardia traffic, Endeavour 5122 is overhead Prospect Park Expressway visual runway 31 number 2. Gear down. Look at this.
And GFK traffic, JetBlue 1083 is departing runway 22 right, and that Delta man needs to wait.
No idea. Matthew's got the popcorn ready. Now we're full flaps. Better put my feet on the rudder pedals. Looking for the twin white tanks. They're there. So hopefully you guys can see that. There they are. We've got to keep an eye on the aeroplane because I don't want it to go and do some random stuff. Which I feel like it could actually be doing at the moment. Effectively what we're doing is we're shooting the ILS. Flaps full, gear down, 3 green, and we're briefed for the missed approach should it happen. And we've got, oh you bugger. And we have configured for our final approach. Look at that. Let's do this. Where's my flight recorder mod? Record. Twin white tanks coming up. There's our visual reference. It's brought us in ever so slightly to the right. So I'm taking the autopilot off now because I want to keep this crisp. It's got to be accurate. Otherwise it goes wrong really quickly. Whenever I've done this in the A320, it does go very wrong very quickly. Watch the nose, watch the nose, watch the nose. We don't want to drop. Speed. Let's get rid of that bloody flight director.
Okay, any traffic, JetBlue 1083 clear, runway 22 right.
Twin white tanks on the nose. There's the expressway. Turning right. LaGuardia traffic, Endeavour 5122 is finals expressway visual runway 31 approach LaGuardia. Let that nose start to settle down now into the descent.
LaGuardia traffic and Canada 11 departing from runway 4.
Follow the expressway. We've got a big old crosswind actually, 17 knots, but it's also a bit of a tailwind, so that is going to be our heading for a track down the expressway. Speed. Versus arms, because I did just about remember that. Yeah, you can see our track is different to our heading. Our speed's looking good at the moment. And in a second I'm going to go very quiet. It's going to get very busy. There's the threshold. There's the ball. I remember that as a bit of a reference point there. Flushing Meadow Park on the nose. And there's the stadium. Speed's looking good. Attitude's okay. Probably come off the rate of descent a little bit here, so a bit more power. Recenter this view.
400. 500. 500. 400.
Sink rate.
Fine. Continue. Stable, we're good. We've got a bit of a crosswind, but it's fine.
LaGuardia traffic is minimum 752, traffic around 20 miles per hour.
Minimums. Minimum 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Come on, let's get back on the centre line there. I think we've missed Tango. There's a little Delta. LaGuardia Endeavour 5122 vacated at Sierra, taxi to gates. LaGuardia. Oh, it's a great landing, I love it. One of my favourite approaches in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Strobes. Where were we supposed to taxi to? Definitely forgot what stand. Replay, yep. Well, I'm going to park up on stand first so that we've got it all saved. But this looks pretty cool. Right, the world's longest thank you announcement now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Please remain in your seat with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft has been parked to the gate and the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. This will be your only
Delta 11 down the bottom. So that's why we have to be careful.
The overhead bins items do have a tendency to shift during flight. For those of you wishing to use your cell phone, it is now safe for you to do so.
Opposing direction.
Your laptop computers must remain stowed until we're parked at the gate. It has certainly been our pleasure bringing you today. Looks like you have an absolutely gorgeous day ahead of you.
Oh, that's going to be a big old explosion.
We certainly have what your future plans call for your travel that shall once again select Delta Airlines. Thank you and have a great time here.
We will. Rose. Do. Come on, geese. Put your foot down. Oh, this is looking quite nice. And the way, Swissport. We'll have a good look at the scenery in a second as well, and have a bit of a good comparison of it all, really, to sort of see if it's any good. Delta 11, so we're looking at Alpha down to November 15 Alpha, actually. Mike. So then the next one should be November. Then we're going off into this little cul-de-sac. November. Here we go. It's almost like we've got a delay on the arrival. It's we're racing in. Delta 11 is right down the very bottom on the left, next to the terminal. Lovely stuff. Yeah, that must caution. We know why we've triggered that. It's because we turned the heating off. It's a bit of a rushed arrival because, or taxi in, because I don't want to leave the flight recorder for too long, cooking away. Delta 15. There. Well, they're all labelled incorrectly, interestingly enough, because their charts say this is Delta 11. This is payware scenery, Alec. It's Feel Their Sims LaGuardia for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It was about £9. Delink, hello. Nice job. Used to fly this a couple of times a week. Try flaps 2 and 180 to the tanks. At the tanks, start down at 1,000 foot per minute and configure for landing. New York would have a fit if you fly that slow. It's more because I've not flown this aircraft into the approach, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. And I was going by the old mantra of if in doubt, configure early. But that's really good to know. I'll have to try it again at some point. Right, that's that set. So we need to finish Volanta so that we don't get any weird stuff on, like double landings and things. And then of course you guys will see my landing rate as well, foot per minute. That's what this looked like anyway. Oh, Delta 371's coming in. Jerry. We'll watch him land. And there we go, that was our little approach. That actually looks quite good. There's the expressway. We've hugged that quite nicely, and then we've committed to that nice sweeping left turn onto runway 31 there. Let's end the flights, and then we'll review it. There we are. And the touchdown, minus 158 foot per minute, and 1.06 G. That's actually quite good. And winds were 250 at 9 knots, so quite a good little crosswind for us actually as well to play around in. Let's, where is it? So we were going to disconnect from the VATSIM network. New York Centre's just come online, interesting. Good timing. We're going to connect into observer mode, so now we're invisible. And it's annoying we don't have...
A lot of traffic, Expressway, Sim 1 Alpha Golf, 5 miles finals, runway 22.
Hello, what are we doing here? Jeez, I have no idea what that camera view is supposed to be. So that sounds like David's on the ILS approach. Where did Thomas park? This scenery is a little bit underwhelming, to be honest. Even for £9, it kind of looks. I mean, I don't want to slate it, but it's a little bit sort of freeware-esque. I mean, that doesn't look great, does it? So would I recommend this scenery? I mean, it's better than nothing, I suppose. The default LaGuardia is a little bit clunky. There's David. Oh, he's pink. Oh, jeez, I've left the lantern on. This is what sleep deprivation does. Dear me. We will go back through LaGuardia in a second, and I will just show you what I was just moaning about. And take note from me, don't run on 3 hours sleep over 2 days. Oh dear. I mean, that's quite nice. Welcome to New York. Looks exactly like a Volanta map. God. Oh, I need sleep. I mean, at least it's not been worse than it could have been. I mean, I could have absolutely clunked the landings and all sorts of stuff. I could have done a Munich 2.0 and crashed on departure. Here comes David. ILS 22, which was what is actually in use at the moment. Cytherea, I've 7 hours sleep I think in total over 2 days. 48 hours. It's pretty bad. That's a beautiful landing. Nice livery as well. Look at that. Off in the distance. Manhattan. So yeah, this is the scenery. Ooh. Crikey. No wonder it's stuttering. Still got the recorder mod going. From a distance it looks quite nice. Ah, Matthew, I didn't know that. That's quite cool. If you'll note here though, default jetways, because it's that is Latin VFR's Jetway Pro kicking in, and that only does it only kicks in and overlays the jetways if they're default textures. So that's pretty naughty. The tower looks quite good, but again, it all seems to be from a distance. The tower doesn't look too bad, I'll give it that, and the general overview of the airport looks quite nice as well. There's a good old big sign here. So let's see the landside areas. Oh, it's only £9, which is quite good, I suppose, for the price, but would I pay for it? I guess it's the only bit of scenery that we've got. I mean, that's quite nice from a distant view. Kevin, yeah, I think it is supposed to be a future mock of LaGuardia based upon some airport plans, I believe. I think maybe like some modernisation plans that they've got drawn up. This is a little bit, ugh. Maybe at night time that'll look quite good, but in the day it sticks out like a sore thumb. And when you've got the backdrop of Manhattan off in the background, kind of you don't really want the emissives there, do you? It would be quite nice to have a bit of textured glass in places within the terminal. Look, fantastic. What do you drive? There's us. We've left the engines running because we have to for the replay, otherwise it forgets the states. Good old CRJ900 looking pretty cool. I'm going to quickly review Volanta because we did have somebody on finals, didn't we, that was joining us. So let's have a quick look-see. Brano 1, I think they appear to have disconnected. We've got 2 aircraft that look like they're being vectored over Oyster Bay instead. So, let's jump to the replay. We want insert end. That's as good as we're going to get because we don't have any of the other views. We're going to get some weird call-outs and all that sort of stuff as well. Quick replay. There we go. It's just going to play catch-up. We're going to get all manner of call-outs and warnings, like don't sink and all that sort of thing. Let's resume from there actually because we get a nicer view. We're on observer mode on VATSIM, by the way, so we're invisible to the radar controllers and everybody else. Oh, that's stunning. Interestingly, it's not remembered the flap settings. I wonder if I can. Yeah, so the flaps seem to be stuck. So we're going to get don't sync callouts. We're going to get pull-up callouts probably. We're going to get altitude C chords, maybe some other stuff going off. So you'll have to ignore any warnings that we hear. Matthew, nice. Hayden, hello. Hope you're okay. How you doing? Big old steep turn. It's a shame we can't see it from the other end. I'll have to set up some custom views in the 900. And of course as well, we turned autopilot off early because it was trying to suck us towards the threshold instead of actually sort of pretending to shoot the ILS instead before breaking off at the two towers. The two white tanks called. I think only one terminal's complete at the moment, everything else under construction, but this is what LGA will eventually look like. It's quite nice, I guess, that they've rendered it in for the future, so they don't have to remodel it again in a couple of years. Perhaps maybe just tweak a couple of things. So we're going to get the left turn in a second. That's sweeping left past Prospect Park, and like an open air park of some sort with a metal orb. That's a really good visual reference point. No, there's the ball. There's the stadium. Citi Field Stadium, is it? I think. What an awesome approach. Aidan, did it take you long to move that across when you had to reinstall? Or move the AIG stuff, sorry.
400.
When you had to move the AIG stuff using the OCI installer, there's the City Link field, City Field.
400.
Sync rate.
I worry that it's going to take sort of like 4 or 5 hours to just move the OCI AIG stuff.
200. 200. Minimums.
Ian, hey! Member for 11 months, wow. Thank you for your ongoing support.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
We are, we've deflected the spoilers, which is quite cool. There's David. City Field, that's the one. That's the approach. Maybe if we jut out to an external. What have we got here? Let's see. Oh, there's us. It's not using replay function. It's interesting. Not quite sure what that's supposed to be. What we can do is use this one now, so we can get a view of the actual turns and things on approach. This is another little replay. Ian, it's just normal flight recorder mod. Minus 309.96 G, that's good enough. CRJ does look at home doing this sort of procedure, gotta say. It does look good. Although I have forgotten to return on the landing lights and things because the flight recorder mod doesn't remember those states again. It seems to have forgotten those once more. And it's not deployed the flaps again. Hold in, hold in, hold in. Touchdown. There we go. Looking awesome. So, thank you to everybody who's flown along today. I hope you've all really enjoyed it. I need to obviously start trying to move my AIG stuff across to my D drive and maybe link it with add-on linker now. If you want to get your hands on the Field Air Sim LaGuardia, then head to Sim Market. It's probably where I'd recommend purchasing it from because it's a bit cheaper. And keep an eye out over the next few days. I'm actually flying real life tomorrow and the day after. Hopefully I can go solo, but there we go. Thank you very much to those of you who flew along, and Gridman for your tip. Really appreciate that as well. Always supporting the stream, as well as our bronze, silver and gold frequent flyers for your monthly memberships. In the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching. Welcome to all of our new subscribers, and hope to see you in another live stream very soon. Take care.